This is the story of Peter Carter, who says, "To be honest, I've never really been good at anything, but when it comes to making choices, I'm even worse. But today, a mysterious choice system completely changed my life. Before this, 101 girls rejected me. But now, there isn't a single girl left who can reject me. I'm Peter Carter, a guy who could never stand up for himself. But today, if I choose to stand up for someone, I can completely change their life. Because my Uncle Ben once told me, with great power comes great responsibility." So let's find out how this weak and pathetic Peter Carter became the second greatest man in New York after Tony Shark. At the start of the story, we see Mary Jane texting Peter. "Don't come to my house today. I'm going to a concert, so I'll be home late." But suddenly, Harry snatches the phone from her hand and says, "You're still stringing that idiot along?" Mary Jane smirks. "That idiot is useful for paying my expenses." Harry laughs. "Forget about that loser. Let's get started." Meanwhile, Peter was secretly hiding inside the closet, watching everything. Harry asks, "Aren't you scared that idiot Peter might find out about us?" Mary Jane confidently replies, "Relax. To him, I'm basically a goddess. He could never rise to my level." Right after that, their system was on the verge of going online. At that moment, Peter suddenly opens the closet door and shouts, "You two are disgusting." Mary Jane jumps in shock. "What are you doing here?" Peter clenches his fists. "Today was our anniversary, so I wanted to surprise you. That's why I was hiding in your closet. But turns out, I'm the one who got surprised." Mary Jane quickly says, "Peter, please listen to me." Peter glares at her. "Everything already happened. So what exactly am I supposed to listen to?" Mary Jane suddenly changes her tone. "Actually, this was just a test." Peter looks confused. "What do you mean?" Mary Jane explains. "I saw this relationship test on the internet a few days ago. It's supposed to test how much your lover trusts you. I was just acting. I only wanted to see how much you cared about me. Nothing actually happened between us." Peter hesitates. Are you telling the truth?" Mary Jane immediately starts fake crying. "So you don't trust me?" Peter instantly panics. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have blamed you." At the same time, he blames himself internally. "This is all my fault. I acted too impulsively. What should I do now?" Trying to fix things, Peter says, "Mary Jane, I even bought you a really nice gift." As he reaches into his pocket, Mary Jane suddenly bursts out laughing. "I can't believe you actually fell for my acting." Peter freezes. "Wait, were you testing me again?" Mary Jane rolls her eyes. "You idiot. I dumped you. Can't you understand something so simple?" The gift slips from Peter's hand and falls to the floor. Peter's voice trembles. "I treated you so well. So why are you doing this to me?" Mary Jane crosses her arms coldly. "I've been with you for so long, but you never gave me anything valuable. And what did you even bring me for our anniversary? This cheap garbage. I would never stay with someone like you. When I met my new boyfriend for the first time, he gifted me the latest luxury handbag. How could a loser like you ever compare to him? And when I told you earlier that it was all acting, you pretended to believe me, didn't you? Because no sane person could deny what they just saw with their own eyes. And the fact that you can't even say a word right now proves that you know it's true. Honestly, keeping a dog like you around disgusts me. Just looking at your face makes me sick. If you lick my feet, maybe I'll play a house game with you for a few more minutes." Peter's expression darkens. "You've humiliated me enough." Mary Jane points toward the door. "This is my house. Get out before I call the police." A devastated Peter walks out of the room. Even then, Mary Jane keeps yelling after him. "Remember this. A pathetic loser like you will never get a girlfriend." Later, Peter walks into a bar while thinking to himself, "My luck is seriously terrible. Mary Jane was the 101st girl I confessed to, and she was the first one who actually accepted me. I listened to everything she said, but I never thought she'd leave me just for money." At that moment, a random man leaves behind a flyer beside Peter and walks away. Peter looks at it curiously. "What's this?" It turns out to be a QR code for an app. The flyer claims, "Install this app and get a girlfriend." Peter laughs sarcastically. "This is hilarious. People are seriously so stupid. How is scanning a QR code supposed to get someone a girlfriend? Only an idiot would believe this. Well, I guess scanning it once won't hurt. If it asks me for money later, I'll just uninstall it." The app suddenly displays a message. Connecting to host. Peter's face stiffens. "Wait, did I just install a virus? What if this app blackmails me later? Although I don't even have anything worth blackmailing." A moment later, another notification appears. "Host binding complete. 100%. Suddenly, Peter starts seeing mysterious status windows floating above everyone's heads. What the hell are these boxes above people's heads? I think I drank too much. I should leave. But even after stepping outside, the strange windows are still there. Peter slaps himself. This can't be an illusion. Let me try turning the app off. The moment he disables the app, the floating windows disappear instantly. Peter's eyes widen. This app actually works. It feels like I'm inside some kind of simulation game. I can see everyone's characteristics. I can even view private information and body measurements. Although some features are still locked, I guess I'll unlock them later. Just then, Peter notices a couple walking nearby with heart symbols floating above their heads. What do those hearts mean? Then he notices a girl nearby who only has a single heart above her head. Suddenly, the girl accidentally bumps into him and walks away, unknowingly dropping her phone. At that moment, the app gives Peter 3 choices. 1. Pick up the phone and sell it at the black market for money. 2. Ignore it and walk away. 3. Return the phone to the girl. Peter frowns. So I actually have to choose one of these options? But no matter what, I can't steal someone else's property. I have to return it. Peter immediately starts chasing after the girl. Meanwhile, the girl notices him following her and starts panicking. Why is this guy following me? Is he some kind of creep? I need to get away from him fast. She suddenly starts running. Peter gets confused. Why did she suddenly start running? As he follows her into a narrow alley, the girl suddenly turns around and smacks him on the head with a stick. You pervert. Why have you been following me? Are you trying to do something to me? Peter looks completely stunned. What is happening right now? Why does she hate me all of a sudden? Peter quickly raises the phone. You dropped this earlier. I was just trying to return it. The moment he says that, the heart above the girl's head suddenly increases by +20. The girl instantly lowers her stick and apologizes awkwardly. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Meanwhile, Peter stares at the floating heart in complete shock. Peter was thinking, her heart value increased. Meanwhile, the girl was panicking internally. I hit the wrong person. What if he asks me for compensation now? At that moment, Peter receives another set of options from the app. 1. Ask for compensation. 2. Scold the girl. 3. Ask if she got hurt. Peter immediately chooses the third option. You're not hurt, right? As soon as he says that, the heart above the girl's head rises even higher, and suddenly she starts crying. Peter gets confused. Wait, did I do something wrong? Why is she crying now? App, hurry up and tell me what I'm supposed to do. The app gives him 2 new choices. 1. Run away from here. 2. Wipe away her tears. Peter thinks to himself, if I run away now, I'll probably never see this girl again. But if I wipe her tears, wouldn't that be a little too much? We're not even close friends. Then again, she already called me a creep earlier, so what difference would this even make now? And is there a time limit for choosing these options? Fine, I'll just trust my luck. Peter gently wipes away her tears. The girl blushes in surprise. What are you doing? Peter quickly replies, don't misunderstand me. The girl lowers her head awkwardly. I'm sorry, I got a little angry earlier. Peter was completely stunned. A second ago she was calling me a creep, but the moment I wiped her tears, she started apologizing to me? This app is seriously incredible. Then the app gives him 2 more options. 1. Ask for her WeChat account. 2. Invite her out for drinks. Peter thinks carefully. She's treating me really nicely right now. Maybe I should take advantage of this opportunity. Besides, the success rate for getting her WeChat is only 20%. So Peter asks, would you like to go grab a drink with me? A little later, the 2 of them arrive at a bar. Peter says, you went through a lot today, so you must have been pretty stressed. At that moment, the girl's affection level rises to 75%. The girl smiles shyly. I caused you so much trouble today, but even after all that, you still brought me out for drinks. Honestly, I feel really embarrassed. Peter finally realizes something. So the hearts really do represent affection. They show how emotionally attached someone is becoming to me. The girl suddenly says, we never introduced ourselves properly. My name is Gwen Stacy. What's your name? Peter smiles. I'm Peter Carter. You can just call me Peter. After some time passes, Gwen ends up drinking way too much. Peter notices her condition and thinks, she drank way too much. He tries helping her stand up, but Gwen was too drunk to move properly. Peter sighs, I can't just leave a drunk girl alone outside. I need to get her home somehow. But when he checks her phone, it's completely dead. I can't contact her family now. So where am I supposed to take her? Eventually, Peter takes Gwen to a hotel. I'd like a double room. The receptionist apologizes. Sorry sir, we don't have any double rooms available. Only single rooms are left. And nearby hotels are in the same situation. Peter reluctantly replies, fine, I'll take the single room. As Peter carries Gwen toward the room, another couple walks into the hotel. The guy suddenly says, wait, wasn't that Gwen? Meanwhile, Peter finally brings Gwen into the room. Gwen murmurs drunkenly, it's so hot. Peter gets confused. How is she feeling hot in this freezing weather? I guess I'll turn on the AC. But the moment he tries to leave, Gwen suddenly grabs him. What are you doing? Please don't leave me alone. Peter's heart starts racing. What is happening right now? Should I take advantage of this situation? Suddenly, Peter's devil side appears in his imagination. This is your chance. If you don't enjoy life now, then when will you? But then his angel side speaks up. Uncle Ben said you should never take advantage of someone. If I do something like this, then what's the difference between me and an animal? Right then, someone starts banging on the hotel room door. Peter nervously asks, who is it? It turns out to be the same guy from the couple that entered the hotel earlier. The guy yells from outside, come out right now. I'm not letting you get away. Gwen, I know you're inside. Peter panics. Wait, is that her boyfriend? If he sees me alone in a room with her, he's definitely going to kill me. What am I supposed to do now? Peter quickly checks the app again. The app gives him 2 choices. 1. Open the door and explain everything honestly. 2. Call the police for help. Peter thinks carefully. Why am I even scared? I didn't do anything wrong. I should just open the door and explain everything. But right before he opens it, the guy outside screams, I'll kill both of you. Peter instantly changes his mind. This guy definitely isn't thinking rationally right now. He probably won't even give me a chance to explain. Yeah, there's no way I'm opening this door. It's safer to wait for the police. A little later, the police finally arrive. Police, open the door immediately. Peter looks outside and sees officers restraining the angry guy. He sighs in relief. Finally. But the next moment, the police also put handcuffs on Peter. You're coming with us too. Soon, everyone arrives at the police station. An officer asks, what's the relationship between you two? Peter quickly explains, Officer, we're innocent. We literally just met today. The angry guy immediately shouts, you just met today and already booked a hotel room together? The officer slams the table. Calm down before I shove this baton somewhere unpleasant. The guy instantly backs off. Sorry, officer. Peter continues explaining, Gwen's phone died and she passed out outside. I didn't know where else to take her. I couldn't just leave a drunk girl alone at night. That's why I brought her to the hotel room. The other guy scoffs. Who would believe such a stupid story? At that moment, Gwen finally speaks up. Brad, are you insane? We already broke up? So who are you to control me now? Peter was surprised. So they already broke up? Brad replies emotionally, but it's only been a few days since we broke up. I've been thinking about you non-stop. I can't even eat or sleep properly anymore. I've lost so much weight because of you. And now you're doing this. Peter thinks to himself, this guy is seriously weird. It feels like he's just putting on a show in front of the police. Right then, another girl suddenly arrives at the station. The officers explain, this girl claims she's Brad's current girlfriend. The girl immediately explodes in anger. Brad, you jerk. I was your girlfriend. How could you cheat on me? Don't ever show your face to me again. Brad desperately tries to explain. Please, just listen to me. Peter watches everything unfold and thinks, this guy is a complete scumbag. Later, Peter and Gwen were finally released. Gwen lowers her head apologetically. So much happened today. And honestly, most of it was my fault. Peter smiles awkwardly. Things only got messy because I couldn't handle everything properly. Suddenly, Gwen steps closer and kisses Peter on the cheek. Peter freezes completely. As Gwen walks away, Peter touches his cheek in disbelief. Am I dreaming right now? At that moment, the app suddenly sends him a notification. Gwen Stacy has been successfully registered as your girlfriend. Peter stares at the screen in shock. What does registered as your girlfriend even mean? Right after that, Gwen adds Peter on WeChat. Peter grins proudly. Who said I could never get a girlfriend? I got one in just a single day. The next morning, Peter arrives at work. But everyone in the office keeps staring at him with strange expressions. Peter feels uneasy. Why is everyone looking at me like that? Just then, J. Jonah Jameson walks over and says, the boss wants to see you. Go to his office immediately. Peter was thinking, their affection toward me is 99? Do these people seriously hate me that much? J. Jonah Jameson looked at him impatiently and said, what are you staring at? Aren't you going to meet the boss? Peter nervously asked, Brother Jameson, why does the boss want to see me? Jameson shrugged. You'll find out once you get there. Peter soon entered the office where his boss, John Jameson, handed him a resignation letter. Sign this. Peter froze. Wait, am I being fired? The boss sighed. This wasn't my decision alone. I discussed it with everyone in the office. And according to the team, you're simply not suitable for this job. So for your own good, it's better if you resign. A little later, Peter walked out of the office in silence. Meanwhile, Jameson was talking to another employee nearby. You're really lucky. There was only one full-time position available, and you got it. The other guy, Eddie Brock, smiled proudly. That only happened because of your support, Brother Jameson. If you hadn't helped me so much, I never would have made it this far. I've got some amazing wine at home, so tonight's party is on me. Peter quietly left the building. Narrating sadly, he explained, this was my first real job. I had been working there on a 6-month probation period. Eddie and I both applied for the same full-time position. From the beginning, they told us only one of us would be chosen. To become a full-time employee, I worked incredibly hard. I took great photos and edited them carefully. I even worked overtime almost every single day. But Eddie didn't really care about the work itself. Instead, he became close friends with everyone in the office. He kept giving gifts to people, and slowly everyone started ignoring me. I thought that as long as I worked hard, it wouldn't matter whether people supported me or not. But now I've become a complete joke. I wish someone had taught me how to deal with people properly. Suddenly, Peter remembered something. He had seen Jameson's affection level earlier. His eyes widened. So I can see men's affection levels too? Not just girls? That means I can use this app much more effectively. If I use the app to understand whether people like me or not, then I might get promoted much faster. I'll finally have money, and girls too. But right now, I don't even have a full-time job. What am I supposed to do now? Just then, Peter noticed a huge crowd gathered nearby. What's going on over there? But then he hesitated. My day is already terrible. I shouldn't get involved in more trouble. Otherwise, things will only get worse. At that moment, Peter suddenly noticed a strange mark floating in the air. I've never seen that symbol before. Should I go check it out? Why is the app showing it to me? When Peter got closer, he saw an old man enthusiastically advertising something. Ever since I started using this miracle balm, my back pain completely disappeared. Now I can climb stairs with no problem at all. Peter immediately thought, looks like some MLM scammers tricked this old man. That's why he's acting like this. But then Peter noticed that several people nearby were listening very seriously. Peter narrowed his eyes. That mark has been above this old man's head the whole time. It feels like I'm about to get some kind of mission. Peter walked forward and said, "Uncle, please listen to me." But before he could finish speaking, the old man suddenly collapsed onto the ground. Peter panicked. What happened to him? How did he suddenly faint? The surrounding crowd instantly backed away in fear. Peter quickly shouted, "You all saw it. I didn't even touch him." But everyone immediately ran away. Peter's face turned pale. My life is over. I didn't even do anything, but now I'm trapped in this mess. Right then, the app gave him two choices. 1. Help the old man. 2. Leave him here and walk away. Peter thought carefully. If I leave him here, tomorrow's news headlines will say a young man abandoned an old man and ran away. No, I can't do something like that. I have to help him. Peter knelt beside the old man and said, "Uncle, before I help you, there's something you should know. My name is Peter Carter. I'm 21 years old. I'm currently single and unemployed. And after paying for food and rent, I only have $29 left. So when you wake up later, you'll have to pay me back." The old man weakly replied, "Give it to me." Peter blinked. "Uncle, what are you going to do with such a small amount of money?" The old man sighed. "I meant, go buy medicine for me." A little later, Peter and the old man were sitting together on a bench. The old man smiled gratefully. "Kid, thank you so much. Tell me what you want. As long as it's not illegal, I can help you with anything." Peter thought suspiciously. This guy was literally doing MLM marketing earlier. He must be crazy. How could someone like him possibly fulfill my wishes? Peter stood up. "Uncle, you should rest. I'm going to look for a job." The old man suddenly replied, "You need a job? I can give you one." Peter paused. "What kind of job are we talking about?" The old man calmly answered, "You just need to take care of my house." As Peter followed him, he thought, "So this old man wants me to become a babysitter? I'd rather starve than do a job like that." Then the old man casually added, "Your monthly salary will be $200,000. Peter nearly stopped breathing. $200,000? I need to calm down. There's no way this old man is serious. Nobody pays that much just to manage a house. The old man shrugged. "Looks like you're not interested. That's fine. I'll find someone else." Peter suddenly slapped himself awake. My body isn't even under my control anymore. "Uncle, wait. I'm coming with you." Soon, Peter arrived at the old man's mansion. Looking around in shock, he muttered, "Just the living room alone is bigger than my entire house. Having money is seriously amazing." The old man smiled. "You can relax around me, kid. I have some work to take care of outside. Meanwhile, make dinner for me." Peter walked into the kitchen and suddenly remembered the last time he cooked. It was with Mary Jane Watson. Peter quickly shook his head. "No, I can't think about her anymore." At that moment, someone knocked on the door. A girl's voice came from outside. "Grandpa, are you home?" Meanwhile, Peter was happily cooking while listening to music. The moment the girl entered the house, the power suddenly went out. Peter sighed. "Looks like there's a power outage. Maybe a switch tripped. I should go check." Meanwhile, the girl became nervous. "There's a strange man's voice inside the house. Did someone break into our home?" When she spotted Peter's silhouette in the darkness, she immediately panicked. There really is an intruder inside. Meanwhile, Peter couldn't see anything at all. "Where's the switch?" The girl quietly thought. "I just need to stay silent. He can't find out I'm here." But then Peter accidentally walked extremely close to her while searching for the switch. "Why does it feel like someone's standing near me?" As he reached forward blindly, his hand accidentally landed on the girl's basketball. Slap! The girl smacked Peter across the face and shouted, "Where do you think you're touching?" Later, the girl had Peter completely tied up. Peter was thinking, "My luck is seriously terrible. On the very first day of my new job, I got caught like a thief. Who knows what this girl is going to do to me now?" The girl glared at him and said, "You better explain what you stole from my grandpa's house." Peter immediately realized, so she's Uncle's granddaughter. She thinks I'm a thief. The girl coldly warned him, "If you don't tell me the truth, I'll call the police." Peter panicked internally. She tied up my mouth, so how am I even supposed to explain anything? There's only one way to prove my identity now. I need to call Uncle, but I made a huge mistake. I never even took his phone number. At that moment, the app gave Peter two options. 1. Free yourself and explain your identity. 2. Take advantage of the opportunity and attack the girl. Peter was stunned. What kind of options are these? Neither of them is normal. Hey, app, are you trying to trick me on purpose? Can't you give me at least one normal option? The app replied, you must choose one of the available options. Peter sighed, I guess I'll just have to trust my luck. I hope nothing goes wrong. Meanwhile, the girl was already dialing the police. I'm calling the cops right now. Suddenly, Peter grabbed her hand, causing her phone to fall to the ground. The girl shouted, what are you doing? Peter quickly explained, my name is Peter Carter. Your grandpa hired me to work here. And if you want, I can work for you too. But while talking, Peter's eyes accidentally wandered somewhere else. The girl instantly became furious. If you touch me again, I'll kill you. Right then, her grandfather entered the house. Later, everyone sat together for dinner. Grandpa happily said, Peter made an amazing meal. The girl, Kylie, crossed her arms angrily. Grandpa, I already told you. I'm not eating anything made by this pervert. Grandpa sighed. I already explained everything. It was all just a misunderstanding. Meanwhile, Kylie thought to herself, this guy definitely has bad intentions. One day his true nature will show. I need to get rid of him before that happens. Peter glanced at her affection level and froze. Affection, 100. She treats me like her mortal enemy. At the same time, Kylie thought, this creep is staring at me again. I seriously want to gouge his eyes out. Peter immediately noticed her affection dropping another 20 points. I can't afford to offend this girl any further. I need to do my best so I can avoid problems with her in the future. Just then, Kylie's phone rang. You're here already? Then she turned toward her grandfather. Grandpa, my boyfriend is here to pick me up, so I can't stay for dinner. Peter thought, so she already has a boyfriend. In that case, there's no point thinking about her. A few moments later, Kylie's boyfriend entered the house, and to Peter's shock, it was Harry Osborne. Harry became nervous the moment he saw Peter. What's this guy doing here? Kylie casually replied, my grandpa hired him. Come on, let's talk outside. Meanwhile, Peter was boiling with anger. That bastard really is Harry. He's the same guy who slept with my girlfriend, and now he's dating two girls at the same time? I have to expose this jerk in front of everyone. He's cheating on both girls. Right then, the app presented Peter with two choices. 1. Start your revenge plan. 2. Give up on revenge. Peter thought carefully. A revenge plan? That definitely sounds tempting. But at the same time, the app is warning me not to do it, and there's even a punishment if the mission fails. If I lose, my girlfriend's affection toward me will drop completely. What am I supposed to do? But there's no way I'm letting that bastard go. I trusted him, and I'm definitely getting revenge. Alright, let's begin the revenge plan. At that moment, Grandpa asked, Peter, are you alright? Peter nodded. Yeah, I'm fine. Grandpa smiled gently. Don't take Kylie's words too seriously. And I don't have any work for you right now. I'll be staying home for a while, so why don't you go outside and relax a little? Later, Peter arrived at a busy marketplace. What if I fail? I don't even have a proper revenge plan yet. Suddenly, he spotted Mary Jane Watson. Peter immediately frowned. I really don't want to see this girl. Just looking at her makes me angry. But then an idea crossed his mind. Wait, maybe I can use her to expose Harry's true colors. At that moment, Mary Jane noticed him. Oh, Peter Parker? I heard you lost your job after our breakup. That's really unfortunate. Peter thought bitterly. This girl is unbelievably shameless. Mary Jane smirked. If you want, I could ask my boyfriend to help you find a job. Peter immediately realized she was talking about Harry. Then he noticed something important. The area they were standing in was famous for its restaurants. That means Harry probably brought Kylie here somewhere nearby. But which restaurant are they in? Still, Peter felt strangely relieved. Breaking up with this girl was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. I have no idea how I ever tolerated her. Mary Jane crossed her arms. I don't really want to talk to you. I'm going out with my boyfriend, so I need to get ready. Suddenly, Peter spoke softly. I'm sorry. After you left me, I thought about everything very carefully, and I realized the problem was mostly my fault. I should have treated you better. So if I hurt you, let me at least buy you dinner as an apology. Mary Jane looked surprised. Well, I guess I can accept that. But internally she thought, he's definitely changed. But a dog will always stay a dog. Then she smiled lightly. You're behaving much better now. Fine, we can go to a restaurant together. But don't misunderstand anything. Peter nodded calmly. Alright. At the same time he thought, I seriously can't believe I ever fell in love with this woman. Mary Jane asked, so where are we going? And please don't take me to some cheap restaurant where dinner costs $10. Peter became nervous. I was sure Harry would be somewhere around here. But there are too many restaurants. How am I supposed to find him? App, please help me. The app immediately gave him 3 choices. 1. Ashura Japanese Hotel. 2. Jiagujuan Jua. 3. Kinkin Grassland. Peter stared at the options. There are 3 choices? But what am I supposed to pick? I remember working really hard during school, but I always failed multiple choice questions. I absolutely cannot trust my luck, but I don't have any other choice. Then Peter suddenly remembered something. Earlier, he had seen sushi inside Kylie's drawer, and Japanese food lovers usually love sushi. Meanwhile, Mary Jane impatiently asked, "What are you doing? Why are you just standing there?" Peter quickly replied, "Sorry, come with me." Soon they arrived at the Ashura Japanese hotel. Mary Jane said, "I'm going to the restroom. I'll be back soon." Meanwhile, Peter searched the restaurant carefully, wondering where Harry and Kylie were sitting. Then he finally spotted them. Harry was smiling while talking to Kylie. "Kylie, you really like Japanese food, right? I heard this place uses top quality ingredients. You should definitely try this. Go ahead and start eating. I'll be back after using the restroom." Just then, Harry's phone started ringing. Kylie picked it up and called out, "Harry, your phone is ringing." But at that exact moment, Harry had already walked over to Peter. Harry smirked arrogantly. "You look familiar." "Oh right, you're the guy whose girlfriend I slept with. I had a really great time back then. But honestly, I'm already tired of playing with Mary Jane. And I also found out you belong to the same shoe family as Kylie. So you can keep Mary Jane if you want." Peter replied coldly. "Really? Because Mary Jane told me you two were dating." Harry laughed mockingly. "That's just what she believes. Being my friend alone is already a privilege for her." Right then, Mary Jane walked out of the restroom and heard everything. Her face instantly darkened. "Harry, you're such a disgusting bastard." Harry Osborn panicked and said, "What is Mary Jane doing here?" At that moment, Mary Jane Watson raised her hand to slap Harry, but just then Kylie arrived. Kylie coldly said, "I heard everything you two were talking about. From now on, there's nothing between me and Harry. I honestly feel disgusted knowing I was dating someone like you." Harry quickly replied, "You can't break up with me. Our families are connected because of this relationship." Kylie turned away angrily. "I don't want to hear another word from you. I'm leaving." Harry suddenly grabbed the situation desperately. "We haven't even slept together yet. You can't just break up with me like this." Kylie looked at him in disbelief. "Harry, what are you even saying?" Harry smirked shamelessly. "Stop acting innocent. You know exactly where we were supposed to go after this." Before he could continue, Peter Carter kicked Harry hard and said, "You called me trash before, didn't you? But the real trash is you. The kind of garbage that's born once in thousands of years." Harry shouted furiously, "How dare you hit me?" Peter calmly replied, "You're wrong. I never touched you with my hands, because I don't want to dirty them by hitting someone like you." Kylie looked around in disgust. "There's too much trash standing around us. We should leave." Then Peter and Kylie walked away together while Harry yelled behind them, "You're going to regret this day." Later, while walking down the street, Kylie thought, "I'm honestly thankful to that pervert. Who knows what might have happened to me today otherwise." But just then, Peter's eyes drifted somewhere else. Smack! Kylie slapped him and shouted, "So you really are a huge pervert after all." Later that night, Peter returned to his room and lay down on his bed. "I went through so much today. I didn't just lose a job. I also found a new one. And on top of that, I got the perfect revenge." Suddenly, Gwen texted him, "Are you free tomorrow morning? Let's meet at the park." Peter's eyes widened. Wait, is she asking me out on a date? Then the app suddenly asked him, "Who would you like to target first? Kylie or Gwen?" Peter thought carefully. Can I really make Kylie fall for me? She seems way too dangerous right now. It's better not to choose her yet. For now, I'll go with Gwen Stacy. The next day, Peter arrived at the park. Gwen rushed over apologetically. "Sorry, I'm late." Peter smiled awkwardly. "It's okay, I just got here too." Meanwhile, he thought, "I've literally been waiting here for 2 hours." After that, the two spent the day together watching movies and having fun. Later, Peter took Gwen shopping for clothes. At one point, he suddenly pulled her into the changing room. Gwen's heart started racing. What is he trying to do? Well, whatever he wants, I'll let him. But Peter simply said, "Your skirt wasn't worn properly. I thought you might get embarrassed outside. That's why I pulled you in here." Gwen blushed deeply. This guy is unbelievably shy. Then she stepped closer and kissed him. A little later, they arrived at the checkout counter. Peter thought, what just happened was incredible. Suddenly, a man approached them. "Peter, is that really you?" Peter looked surprised. "It's Brock?" Brock laughed mockingly. "It's been years, but you still haven't changed." Peter replied coldly, "If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving." Brock glanced at Gwen. "So who's the girl behind you? How about introducing me to her?" Peter answered, "She's my girlfriend." Brock burst out laughing. "Stop joking. Who would ever want to date a loser like you?" Peter replied calmly, "You don't need to worry about that." But Brock walked straight toward Gwen and smiled arrogantly. "You're really beautiful. What are you doing with a pathetic guy like him? Come with me instead. I've got plenty of money. I can buy you anything you want." Gwen slapped Brock across the face. "That was for insulting my boyfriend." Then she grabbed Peter's hand and said, "You don't need to waste your time talking to trash like him." Meanwhile, Brock secretly called someone. "There's a guy here who tried to attack me. The person on the phone replied, "Don't worry, I'll handle it." Later, Gwen and Peter walked outside together. Peter smiled softly. "Thank you for standing up for me today." Gwen shook her head. "We're together now. So if anyone treats you badly, I'll hate them too. You don't need to thank me." Peter thought warmly. She's honestly such a good girl. Then he noticed the weather changing. "Looks like it's going to rain. I'll walk you home." Soon, they arrived at Gwen's house. Gwen smiled shyly. "Well, since you're already here, how about coming to my room?" However, someone nearby was secretly watching them. After entering the house, Gwen went to take a shower. Peter thought excitedly, "I haven't had a girlfriend in years. Maybe thanks to this app, I'll finally get a chance tonight." A few moments later, the bedroom door slowly opened. Peter smiled nervously. Looks like Gwen finished showering. She probably turned off the lights because she's shy. In the darkness, Peter slowly reached his hand forward, but suddenly someone covered his mouth. A little later, Gwen came out and looked around in confusion. "Peter? Where did he go? Did he leave already?" Meanwhile, Peter had already been kidnapped. He struggled and shouted, "Who are you? Why did you kidnap me?" The masked man replied, "I don't know you personally, and I have no grudge against you, but I still have to do this." Peter felt despair creeping in. How is this possible? My life was finally starting to get better, and now it's ending just like this? Suddenly, a notification appeared on his phone. "Your app is upgrading." At that moment, Peter suddenly gained the ability to see the kidnapper's memories. From them, he discovered that the man had a very unusual relationship with Brock. Peter immediately said, "You've been tricked." The man froze. "What do you mean?" Peter looked directly at him. "I know what's going on between you and Brock, and I know your feelings for him are genuine, but he's only using you." The man was shocked. "How do you know that?" Peter replied calmly, "That part doesn't matter. What matters is that I can show you Brock's true colors." The man growled angrily, "Don't you dare lie to me. Brock is the only person in this world who ever treated me kindly. I refuse to believe he would betray me." Peter answered, "Then I'll prove it to you today." The scene shifted to Brock's house. Brock received a phone call from the kidnapper. "I killed Peter." Brock smiled proudly. "Good job." The man then asked, "So what should I do next? And are you going to fulfill the promise you made to me?" Brock casually replied, "Give me a little more time. I'll keep my promise later." At that moment, a nurse sitting beside Brock asked flirtatiously, "Don't you want to do anything with me tonight? Or do you not like me?" Brock smirked. "No, you're the one I like the most." Suddenly, the lights in the room went out. Then Peter climbed in through the window. "You hurt me badly." Brock's eyes widened in horror. "Peter? Aren't you supposed to be dead?" Peter stepped forward coldly. "So you're the one who tried to kill me. And now, you're gonna pay for my life with yours." Brock nervously shook his head. "This wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything. Kenny was the one who attacked you." Peter frowned. "Kenny? Who's that?" Brock immediately replied, "He's a huge creep who's been obsessed with me for a long time. I made it clear there could never be anything between us, but he kept bothering me." Peter narrowed his eyes. "So you used him to kill me, so that he'd go to jail while I disappeared from your path?" Brock panicked. "That's not what I meant. But Kenny really was the one who attacked you. If you want revenge, then go after Kenny." Peter smirked slightly. "Kenny? You heard all of that, right?" The moment Brock saw Kenny standing there, his face turned pale with shock. Kenny angrily shouted, "Why did you do all this to me?" As he said that, he grabbed Brock by the throat and started choking him. At that moment, Peter Carter received two options from the app. "Stop Kenny. Leave this place immediately." Peter thought, Brock is a terrible person, but letting him die like this isn't right either. "I need to stop Kenny." Kenny glared at Peter and shouted, "What are you doing?" Peter replied, "If you kill him, you'll end up in prison." Kenny clenched his fists. "I can't let this bastard go." Peter suddenly realized something. So Brock was telling the truth. He really is interested in girls too. There's literally a woman standing beside him right now. Just then, Kenny pulled out a knife and prepared to attack. Peter quickly yelled, "Kenny, stop!" A little later, the situation finally calmed down. Peter sighed in relief. "It's a good thing you didn't attack him." Kenny lowered his head. "You saved my life today. If I had killed him, I'd be in jail right now. But why did you help me? I was literally trying to kill you." Peter smiled slightly. "It was all just a misunderstanding." Kenny shyly replied, "You're actually a really good person." Peter immediately felt uncomfortable. Why is he looking at me like that? At that moment, Kenny's affection level jumped to 200 points. Peter panicked internally. "I seriously need to get out of here. I just remembered I have something important to do." Right then, Peter received a call from Kylie's grandfather. Kylie had accidentally left something at home and he asked Peter to deliver it to her company. Soon, Peter arrived at the Sioux Group building. Peter looked around in shock. Miss Kylie really isn't normal. She actually runs a company this huge. Suddenly, he accidentally bumped into a girl. Peter looked surprised. "Jessie?" Then Peter explained that Jessie was his former classmate. She had always been known as the perfect good girl who excelled in studies. But when Peter checked her status through the app, something felt strange. These stats look weird. Is the app malfunctioning? Then the app revealed more hidden information about Jessie. It showed that Jessie was secretly dating her new boyfriend while leaking her company's confidential information to competitors. Peter was stunned. What is this app showing me? It never revealed things like this before. Everyone thinks she's an innocent girl, but she's actually betraying her own company. You really can't judge someone by their appearance. Meanwhile, Jessie noticed Peter staring at her. Why has Peter been staring at me this whole time? Jessie awkwardly smiled. I should get going. We'll talk properly another time. Just then, Kylie arrived. Peter greeted her politely. Miss Kylie? But Kylie was still furious at him because of the earlier misunderstanding. Peter thought helplessly, she's definitely still angry because I accidentally touched her before. Kylie whispered to Jessie, this guy is a total pervert. You should stay away from him. Peter thought, she's saying it so loudly that I can hear everything. Then Peter handed Kylie the item. Your grandfather asked me to give this to you. Kylie coldly replied, fine, I got it. Now leave. At that moment, Peter received a new mission from the app, expose Jessie's true nature to everyone. Reward, chance to gain a new girlfriend. Peter thought, so the app wants me to reveal Jessie's secret. Kylie continued talking to Jessie. You're inside my company right now. No one here would dare kidnap anybody. Peter noticed how close the two girls were. If I suddenly tell them the truth, they'll never believe me. Soon, Kylie walked away. Peter sighed. Poor Kylie. She has no idea someone inside her company is betraying her. But no matter what, I'll expose Jessie's true colors. Later that evening, Kylie and Jessie were sitting together in a bar. Kylie asked, you said you were in a terrible mood and wanted to drink. So why aren't you drinking anything? Suddenly, Kylie collapsed unconscious onto the table. The moment she passed out, Jessie secretly took documents out of Kylie's bag and photographed them. Then she texted someone, meet me at the alley. A little later, Jessie walked into a dark alley. Suddenly, her boyfriend grabbed her and pulled her deeper inside. Jessie sighed in relief. Oh, it's just you. You seriously scared me. But why were you calling me so urgently? The man replied coldly. I came to remind you that time is running out. You still haven't gotten me what I want. So don't blame me later. Jessie nervously said, dear, just give me a little more time. I'll definitely get it for you. The man replied, I have work at my company right now, so I'm leaving. But the moment Jessie's boyfriend stepped out of the alley, Peter blocked his path. Mr. Ma, I need to talk to you. Mr. Ma frowned. Who are you? Peter calmly replied, it doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that I can give you exactly what you want. Mr. Ma looked annoyed. Have you lost your mind? What are you even talking about? Peter leaned closer. I can get you the core documents of the Sioux group. Mr. Ma narrowed his eyes. And why should I trust you? Peter replied. I work for the Sioux family, and every single person there has made my life miserable. They don't even treat me like a human being anymore. My hatred toward them has already reached its limit. Mr. Ma smirked. I see, Peter continued. I heard there's serious competition between you and the Sioux family. If I help you with something this huge, I'm sure you can reward me with some money. And honestly, there's something else I want too. Mr. Ma asked, what do you want? Peter answered, Jessie and I used to be classmates. I've liked her for a very long time, but it feels like she likes you much more. Mr. Ma started thinking silently. If what this guy is saying is true, then our Ma group can surpass the Sioux group very soon. And if something goes wrong, I can dump all the blame on him. Then Mr. Ma smiled. If you really pull this off, I'll give you whatever you want. Peter directly asked, so you're willing to give Jessie to me? Mr. Ma laughed arrogantly. Girls are like clothes, but brothers are forever. And if I consider someone my brother, then giving him a piece of clothing isn't a big deal. Inside his mind, Mr. Ma mocked Peter. This idiot is risking everything for a girl. But in the end, he'll lose both the girl and the money. He's going to be completely ruined. Peter handed him a contact address. Here's my contact information. In 3 days, you'll receive everything at this address. Later that night, Peter returned home and started gathering information about Mr. Ma. Using the app, he secretly arranged for a pervert to contact Mr. Ma using a fake dating setup. Peter smirked. I completely trapped Mr. Ma using this app. There's no way he can escape now. 3 days later, Mr. Ma arrived at the meeting location Peter had prepared. Looking around nervously, he thought, why is this room so dark? Did that guy betray me? Something feels really wrong here. Suddenly, the pervert walked toward him and smiled seductively. Finally, darling, you're here. Ma nervously shouted, who are you? What are you doing? Please, stay away from me. But the pervert immediately forced himself on Mr. Ma. Mr. Ma thought furiously, you bastard. I'll never forgive you for this. At that moment, Peter called Mr. Ma and asked mockingly, so, how are you feeling right now? Mr. Ma clenched his teeth in rage. Just wait. I'm not letting you get away with this. Then Peter sent Mr. Ma a video recording of him together with the pervert and calmly said, if you don't want this video to get leaked, then do exactly as I say. The next day, Peter arrived at the Sioux group to meet Jessie. Jessie thought irritably, how did this guy end up in front of me again? Peter smiled and asked, would you like to have dinner with me? Jessie replied, I already have plans with someone tonight. Inside her mind, she mocked him. He seriously doesn't know his place, and he still thinks he can approach me? Peter looked at her seriously. I'm warning you. Don't go near your boyfriend. Jessie immediately became suspicious. Is he talking about Mr. Ma? But how does he know I'm dating him? She pretended to act confused. What are you talking about? I don't understand anything. I should get going. Just as she turned around, Peter grabbed her hand. Jessie glared at him. What are you doing? Peter handed her a flash drive. I brought something for you. Take a look at it later. That night, Jessie returned home and checked the pen drive. Inside the video, Mr. Ma was saying, how could I ever like a girl like Jessie? She doesn't match my standards at all. I honestly don't care about her. Jessie's expression darkened instantly. That bastard used me. Just then, she received a message from Kylie. Are you okay? And if Peter bothers you again, let me know. Jessie stared silently at the screen. I tried to betray them, and they're still worried about me. But this world is so unfair. Some people get everything they want, while others can't even get the things they dreamed about first. If I can't live a happy life, then I won't let anyone else live happily either. Meanwhile, Peter noticed that his mission progress had already reached 70%. The next day, Kylie received a disturbing video on her computer. In the footage, a masked kidnapper had abducted her grandfather. The kidnapper threatened, if you want to see your grandfather alive, come alone to Kinson Forest, and don't contact the police. The kidnapper was actually Peter himself. Kylie's grandfather whispered nervously, Peter, why are you making me do all this? By the way, how were my acting skills? Peter laughed softly. Your acting was amazing, and honestly, I'm grateful that you trusted me. The old man smiled warmly. In this age, nobody helps others for free anymore. But that day, you helped me without asking for anything in return. So if you're asking me to do this, you must have a good reason. I trust you completely. Peter nodded confidently. Don't worry, I'll expose every single traitor here. Soon after, Jessie arrived beside Kylie. What happened? But Kylie was too shocked to even speak. Jessie suddenly asked carefully, does this have something to do with Peter? Kylie thought silently. That pervert works at my grandfather's house. He definitely knows something about Grandpa's disappearance. Jessie immediately tried calling Peter, but the call wouldn't connect. Then she said, Kylie, do you think Peter did something? A few days ago, he told me he hated working for your family. If something bad happened, maybe he's behind it. After all, he never seemed happy with your family. Kylie hesitated. Would Peter really do something like this? Then she replied, thanks for your concern, but I'm in a hurry right now. Meanwhile, Jessie smirked to herself. Now things are finally getting interesting. Later that night, Kylie arrived at Kinson Forest after receiving another message from the kidnapper. I'm already at the mountain. If you want your grandfather alive, come quickly. The moment Kylie stepped out of her car, Peter suddenly grabbed her and whispered, listen to me carefully. Then Peter explained the entire truth to her. Kylie widened her eyes in disbelief. So you're saying Jessie planned all of this? Peter nodded. Yes, she's behind everything. But don't worry, your grandfather is completely safe. Kylie glared at him suspiciously. And why should I trust you? Peter calmly answered, if I really wanted to hurt you, you wouldn't still be standing here safely. You'd already be lying unconscious somewhere in this forest. Kylie fell silent. At this point, I don't have any other choice but to trust him. Finally, she sighed. Fine, do whatever you need to do. Peter tied Kylie to a tree as part of the plan. A little later, Jessie arrived. I honestly didn't expect you to be here too, sister. It really hurts seeing you so sad. Jessie's face twisted in anger. This is all your fault. You were always so kind to me. If you hadn't acted like that, I would have already gotten everything I wanted. Then Jessie grabbed Kylie by the throat and started choking her. Peter quickly interrupted. If you keep doing that, she'll die. Jessie glared at him. And why do you care? Peter immediately acted along with her plan. I don't care about anyone else. The only person I care about is you. I feel absolutely nothing for this girl. Suddenly they heard a car approaching nearby. Peter became suspicious. Was someone else involved in this plan too? Jessie coldly warned him. If you open your mouth, your grandfather won't survive. So stay quiet. Soon, two men stepped out of the car and approached them. What are you all doing out here at night? Jessie quickly lied. We just got lost while walking around. The men replied, if that's the case, come with us. We'll let you stay at our house tonight and drop you home in the morning. Soon, all of them entered the men's car. Peter silently thought, something feels really strange. Kylie still hasn't fully realized Jessie's true nature. The mission is only 90% complete. There's definitely another twist coming. And why do these two guys feel familiar? Could it be Jessie planned their arrival too? Meanwhile, Kylie thought, why hasn't Peter exposed Jessie yet? We literally have other people around us now. We could ask them for help. Just as Kylie was about to speak, Peter deliberately coughed loudly. Inside his mind, he pleaded, Miss Kylie, please don't say anything. If Jessie realizes I'm not on her side, none of us will survive. Kylie immediately understood the signal. So there's danger nearby. One of the men asked, what happened? Kylie calmly replied, "Nothing. I was just thirsty." The men smiled. "Once we get home, we'll give you some water." Soon, everyone arrived at the men's house. Jesse quietly whispered to the two men, "To make sure nothing goes wrong, I'll personally knock that guy unconscious. You two just handle the rest." The men hesitated. "Do you really want us to kill that cute girl?" Jesse coldly replied, "I want her dead. But if you want to have fun with her first, that's your choice. You can do whatever you want with her." Peter secretly overheard everything. "So that's their real plan? They're gonna drug us, burn the house down, and make it look like Kylie and I died in the fire. Everyone will think I kidnapped Kylie, and Jesse will walk away innocent." A little later, Jesse returned carrying water. Smiling sweetly, she said, "You really helped me a lot with this plan. If you hadn't kidnapped Grandpa, you never could have proven your love for me. Come on, let's drink to that." Peter suddenly pointed at her clothes. "Wait, there's a cockroach on you." Jesse immediately looked down in panic. At that exact moment, Peter secretly switched the glasses. Then they clinked their cups and drank the water. Peter smiled. "You promised you'd become my girlfriend, remember?" Jesse laughed mockingly. "I honestly can't believe you're still thinking about that. Do you really think someone would want to date a loser like you?" Peter frowned and asked, "What do you mean by that?" Jesse smirked coldly. "Fine. As charity, I'll tell you the truth. These two men who brought us here aren't strangers. They work for me, and they're going to kill both of you. And by the way, the water you drank was mixed with sleeping pills. You'll pass out any second now." But unexpectedly, Jessie herself suddenly collapsed unconscious. Peter immediately turned toward Kylie. "Do exactly what I told you earlier." Kylie looked embarrassed. "Do I seriously have to do this right in front of you?" Peter sighed. "We don't have any other choice." Then Kylie started changing into Jessie's clothes. Suddenly, she spotted a cockroach nearby and screamed loudly. Peter instantly turned around. Did those thugs come back already? But the moment he turned, blood started dripping from his nose. A little later, Kylie had completely changed into Jessie's outfit. One of the gangsters walked over and said, "So girl, you finished your job?" Kylie silently thought, "Looks like he didn't recognize me." Then she answered calmly, "Yeah, both of them already passed out because of the medicine." The gangster nodded. "Don't worry, we'll handle the rest from here." Then he turned toward his partner. "You going first or should I?" The other gangster replied, "You go ahead. I'll stay outside and keep watch." The first gangster entered the room and saw Peter lying unconscious on the floor. He laughed mockingly. "This idiot is gonna die for absolutely no reason. And in the end, all the blame will fall on him too." Then he looked toward the bed. "All right, girl, I'm coming over there." But as soon as he got closer, he realized the girl wasn't Kylie at all. It was Jessie. Before he could react, Peter attacked him from behind, knocked him out, and tied him to a chair. Peter coldly warned him, "If you want to stay alive, then start talking honestly." Meanwhile, the second gangster waiting outside started getting suspicious. "I've been waiting forever." Then the tied-up gangster shouted loudly, "Brother, I need your help. Come inside for a second." The other gangster immediately grabbed his gun. What happened? At the same time, Kylie had already escaped far into the forest. But while running, she suddenly stopped. That pervert is still back there. What if something bad happens to him? No, I can't just leave him behind. I need to help him. Meanwhile, the second gangster entered the room and saw his partner tied up while Peter held a knife against his throat. But even then, the gangster aimed his gun at Peter. "Looks like you're in a hurry to die. Don't worry, I'll help you with that." Peter thought bitterly, "So I still messed up. But at least Kylie escaped. Once she gets out safely, these criminals will be exposed. Her family won't be destroyed." Then Peter silently thought of Gwen Stacy. "Gwen, I'm sorry. I won't be able to stay with you any longer in this life. Please take care of yourself." Suddenly, a gunshot rang out, but instead of hitting Peter, the bullet struck the other gangster in the leg. Peter stared in confusion. What just happened? Why am I still alive? At that moment, Kylie appeared behind them. She had kicked the gangster directly in his heavenly balls. Kylie shouted, "Pervert, are you okay?" The gangster screamed in pain, "You bastards. I won't forgive either of you." Kylie kicked him there again and growled, "No, you're the one who's finished." The gangster cried miserably. "The first hit already hurt, but this time my heavenly balls are completely destroyed." Peter quickly grabbed the fallen gun. A little later, the police finally arrived. Peter leaned back in exhaustion. "So much happened today. I almost died. I'm completely exhausted. I just want to go home and sleep." Then he glanced nervously at Kylie. "Wait, does she remember that I saw her without clothes? She's definitely going to kill me." Peter hurriedly said, "Please let me explain." But Kylie suddenly smiled softly. "Thank you so much." At that exact moment, the app sent Peter a notification. "Mission complete. New girlfriend mission available. Would you like to start it?" Peter panicked instantly. "A girlfriend mission? What the hell is that? I already have Gwen. I need to reject this immediately. If I accept this, then what's the difference between me and those trashy guys?" But somehow he accidentally clicked yes instead of no. Peter froze. "I clearly remember pressing no. How did it turn into yes?" the app replied. Our primary purpose is to create love opportunities for our host. If the host refuses, we will alter the host's thinking accordingly. Peter shouted angrily. That's cheating. Kylie looked confused. Who are you calling a cheater? I was just asking you out to dinner. Then she smiled. Tomorrow, meet me at the garden restaurant. Peter hesitated. But I never agreed to that yet. Inside his mind, Peter panicked. She invited me at the exact same time I'm supposed to meet Gwen. I'm completely screwed. The next day, Peter stood outside the garden restaurant looking miserable. Room number 2 has Gwen, and room number 3 has Kylie. What am I supposed to do now? No matter what, I have to choose one. The app suddenly warned him, we do not want the mission to fail. If your target's affection falls below 60, then your existing girlfriend's affection level will also reset. Peter's face turned pale. I have to do something. If not, I'll lose Gwen too. Eventually, Peter entered Kylie's room. Kylie narrowed her eyes. Why you look so terrible? It's almost like you don't even want to have dinner with me. Peter immediately waved his hands. No, that's not it at all. But inside he felt horrible. I seriously feel awful today. I'm dating 2 girls at the same time, and I can't even properly handle either of them. Suddenly Peter stood up. My stomach hurts. I'll go to the restroom for a minute. Meanwhile, Gwen waited for him in room number 2. When Peter finally entered, Gwen looked worried. I've been waiting for you. Peter apologized awkwardly. Sorry, I got caught up with something. Meanwhile, Kylie sat alone in her room thinking, Peter's acting really strange today. Then suddenly, she heard Peter's voice coming from the room next door. At the same time, Peter realized in horror, how is this even possible? She figured it out this quickly. I'm dead. There's no way I can survive this situation. Just then, Kylie called him from her room. Peter panicked internally. It's over. I won't even be able to explain myself anymore. Gwen noticed his nervous expression. Peter, what's wrong? Are you sick? Peter thought rapidly. I definitely heard Kylie's voice just now. So why didn't she come inside? Then Gwen asked again, are you feeling unwell? Peter immediately grabbed the opportunity. Yeah, I'm not feeling very good. I think I should go home and take some medicine. Gwen immediately stood up. If that's the case, I'll take you home. Peter quickly refused. No, I can manage on my own. After saying goodbye, Gwen finally left. Peter sighed heavily. Gwen, I'm sorry. I had to lie to you. This app is forcing me into all of this. Then another notification appeared. Kylie's affection level is rapidly decreasing. Warning, critical value reached. Fix the situation immediately. Peter stood frozen outside Kylie's room. I disappeared for way too long. What excuse am I supposed to give her now? Should I say there was a long bathroom line? No, that sounds stupid. Maybe I should say I lost my phone. Just then, Kylie's voice interrupted his thoughts. What are you standing outside the door thinking about? The two of them entered the room together. Peter noticed Kylie silently staring at him the entire time. Why isn't she saying anything? Finally, Kylie spoke coldly. Tell me honestly, where did you go? Because I heard your voice coming from the room next door. Then she narrowed her eyes suspiciously. Don't tell me, you're secretly dating another girl? Peter quickly replied, no, you must have heard someone else's voice. I would never do something like that. Kylie looked at him seriously and said, if that's true, then I need to ask you something. Will you become my boyfriend? The moment Peter heard that, he nearly spit out the water in his mouth. I didn't do that on purpose. Kylie rolled her eyes. That's not what I meant. I want you to pretend to be my boyfriend. A little while ago, my dad called me and told me he found a really good marriage candidate for me. But I told him he didn't need to worry about my life because I could handle myself. Still, he said I had to do it for the sake of the family. So I told him I already have a boyfriend. And now he wants to meet you. So, I need your help. Peter fell deep into thought. This is actually a huge opportunity for me. But the risk is also massive. She did save me from those thugs yesterday. But her temper is terrifying. She might seriously do something crazy. Kylie continued coldly, and I expect you not to tell anyone about this. But since you're not answering me, I guess I'll have to think of another plan. Peter quickly replied, I promise I'll help you. The next day, Peter and Kylie arrived at her father's mansion. Kylie's father stared at Peter and asked, so you're Kylie's boyfriend? Peter nodded politely. My name is Peter Carter, sir. You can just call me Peter. Inside his mind, Peter panicked. Kylie's dad looks insanely strict. I'm definitely dead this time. But unexpectedly, Kylie's father suddenly smiled warmly. Peter, it's great to meet you. Treat this house like your own home. Peter blinked in confusion. Wait, why did his expression change so fast? He's completely different from what I imagined. Kylie's father laughed happily. This is the first time Kylie has ever brought a boyfriend home. To celebrate, I'll personally cook dinner tonight. Then he looked at Peter. How about you help me in the kitchen, son? Peter nodded nervously. What should I help you with? Suddenly, Kylie's father's expression turned cold. Leave my daughter. Peter froze. Uncle, are you joking? Inside his mind, Peter realized something horrifying. There's literally no affection toward me in his status window. I'm such an idiot for not noticing earlier. Kylie's father glared at him. Stop pretending. You are not my daughter's boyfriend. Peter immediately tried explaining. I think you misunderstood something. But before he could finish, Kylie's father grabbed him by the collar. I'm not here to negotiate with you. I don't care whether you're her real boyfriend or a fake one. Stay away from her. Just then, Kylie walked into the kitchen. What are you two talking about? Her father instantly smiled again. We were just talking about cooking. Peter forced a smile. Yeah, that's right. Then Peter quickly added, Uncle, if there's nothing else to do here, I'll go sit with Kylie. Kylie's father replied calmly, Sure, go sit with her. But remember what I said. The two of them returned to the living room. Kylie whispered nervously, You didn't get exposed, did you? Maybe you should leave first. I'll explain things to my dad myself. Peter nodded slightly. That might actually work. At that moment, Kylie's father walked in. Dinner's ready. Let's eat. Soon everyone sat around the dining table. Kylie's father suddenly asked, Peter, tell me, what's Kylie's favorite dish? Peter's face froze instantly. I have absolutely no idea what she likes to eat. This old man is terrifying. What do I do now? Meanwhile, Kylie's father thought smugly, I know you're acting. There's only one dish Kylie truly likes. If you pick the wrong one, I'll beat you up and throw you out of this house. Peter desperately whispered internally, App, help me. Immediately, the app displayed Kylie's favorite foods. Peter sighed in relief. Most of these dishes are actually her favorites. If the app hadn't helped me, I'd be completely exposed. Peter reached toward the eggs. Kylie's father smirked internally. Kylie hates eggs. This fool clearly knows nothing about her. Suddenly, Kylie's father slammed his hand on the table loudly, startling Peter. Peter instantly switched his choice and grabbed the fish instead. Uncle, what happened? Kylie's father forced a laugh. Oh, nothing. I just remembered a funny joke. Inside, however, he was shocked. This brat tricked me. He actually knows a lot about Kylie. Suddenly, one of the servants rushed into the room in panic. Master, we're under attack. There's someone here trying to kill us. Before he could say anything else, a gunshot echoed through the room, and the servant collapsed. A man walked inside holding a gun. Suluo, none of your family will survive tonight. I'm going to kill everyone here. He immediately started firing wildly. Kylie's father flipped the dining table over to shield everyone. I'm trapped, and my daughters are stuck here too. Meanwhile, the assassin laughed while shooting. There's no point resisting. Come out already. Suddenly, Suluo threw a plate across the room, distracting the assassin. Then he rushed forward, disarmed one of the attackers, and grabbed his gun. But the second assassin instantly opened fire again. Suluo used the first assassin's body as a shield to protect himself. Then he pointed the gun at the second attacker. Tell me, who sent you here? The assassin panicked. Don't shoot. I'll tell you everything. But suddenly, Suluo was shot. The first assassin, who was still alive, laughed crazily. What? Did you think I'd die that easily? I won't die until I kill you. Kylie screamed in fear. Dad, please get up. At that moment, the assassin aimed his gun at Kylie. You came out at the perfect time. Now it's your turn to die. Peter immediately stepped in front of her. As long as I'm here, no one's touching her. The assassin sneered mockingly. And who the hell are you? I'll give you one chance. Run away. I'm only here to kill this girl. Peter's heart trembled. I could run away right now, but then Kylie will die. He has a gun. No matter what I do, I can't save her. What am I supposed to do? The assassin impatiently shouted. Have you decided yet? My patience has limits. I'm giving you 10 seconds. Kylie cried desperately. Please run away. At least you'll survive. But Peter shook his head firmly. I'm not leaving. The assassin immediately pulled the trigger. Peter watched the bullet flying toward him. My name is Peter Carter. Well, whatever. At least I'm happy that before dying, I finally got a girlfriend. I can die smiling now. A moment later, Peter suddenly opened his eyes again. Suluo laughed. It was just a test. Kylie added awkwardly. I only found out about it a moment ago too. Suluo then explained seriously. Kylie is my only daughter, and I own a massive fortune. I can't hand my daughter over to some greedy man. I hope you understand. Peter sighed helplessly. So, what happens now? Suluo smiled. Now your second test begins. Peter stared blankly. There's still another test? Suluo nodded. You'll join our company as an ordinary employee, and we'll evaluate your business skills. Peter relaxed slightly. That actually sounds simple. But Suluo shook his head. It sounds simple, but this test will decide your future. Peter sighed internally. My first job already turned into a disaster. Who knows what's waiting for me this time? Later, Peter arrived at an electronics appliance store owned by the company. He looked around and thought, this store hasn't received a single good review in over a year. Another employee explained, it's not our fault. The customers here are basically all violent thugs. Just then, a customer shouted loudly, is anyone here? Peter turned toward the employee. Why did you suddenly stop talking? Before she could answer, the customer walked over to Peter. Sir, how can I help you? The man angrily replied, I bought a table fan from this store yesterday. It's broken. Peter plugged in the fan and turned it on. It seems to be working perfectly fine. The customer shouted back, it works here. But it doesn't work in my house, Peter calmly replied. Then the problem might be your home's electrical connection. The customer became furious. What's that supposed to mean? Are you looking down on me? Then the customer punched Peter. Peter grimaced. The people here are seriously terrible. A while later, Peter checked the time. Only 30 minutes left before closing. Just then, a young woman entered the store. The moment Peter saw her, he froze. It's that girl from the playground. He remembered how a football had almost hit her while she sat on the ground. Peter tried to save her, but accidentally fell on top of her and touched her basketballs. The moment she saw Peter, she thought, I don't want anything to do with this guy. I should leave. But Peter quickly grabbed her hand to stop her. The girl frowned. What are you doing? Peter thought to himself. I can't tell her I'm trying to complete a mission here. Uncle specifically told me to keep it secret. Then Peter said, Do you remember me? We met at the playground. The girl coldly replied, I don't think we have anything worth talking about. At that moment, another guy walked over. MJ, what are you doing here? You said you were staying home with your parents today. MJ was shocked. What is Gary doing here? Then she quickly explained, I just came here to buy some things for my parents. Gary smiled. If that's the case, I'll drop you home. This time I can meet Uncle and Aunt too. MJ immediately refused. Sorry, but you can't come to my house yet. My parents won't agree to it right now. Peter noticed something strange. MJ's affection level toward Gary was 300, while Gary's affection toward her was only 30. Peter thought, they look like a normal couple. So why is there such a huge difference in affection? Then Peter checked MJ's memories and saw her spending time with multiple different guys. Gary sighed and said, All right, I'll come over only when you want me to. After Gary left, Peter looked at MJ seriously. So who exactly are you planning to make your boyfriend? MJ frowned. What are you talking about? Peter continued. You went shopping with one guy today, and last Wednesday, you went shopping with someone else. MJ's expression changed instantly. How does he know all this? Peter smirked slightly. Do you want me to tell you more? Or should I reveal everything to that guy? MJ clenched her fists. What do you want from me? Peter pulled out a survey form and handed it to her. Fill this out. MJ looked stunned. That's all you want? Peter nodded. You do my work for me, and I'll keep your secrets safe. Suddenly, MJ grabbed Peter's hand and dragged him somewhere else. A little later, they arrived at a hotel. Peter looked around nervously. Why did she bring me here? Then MJ slowly moved closer to him. Peter quickly stopped her. What are you doing? Have you gone crazy? MJ rolled her eyes. Stop acting. Isn't this exactly what you wanted? You weren't taking the initiative, so I decided to do it myself. But listen carefully. You better not tell anyone about this. Peter realized she was terrified that he might expose her secrets. MJ stepped even closer. I'm done tolerating your fake act. So stop pretending and do whatever you came here for. But Peter suddenly stopped her. Let me make one thing clear. I already have a girlfriend, and I would never cheat on her. Honestly, I didn't expect you to be this kind of girl. Then Peter looked at her seriously. You girls always seem happy on the outside. But why do you do things that hurt people? There was a girl who used me once too. She already had a boyfriend, but she still made me act like hers just so I'd buy her favorite bag. I worked a part-time job and survived on instant noodles for an entire month. And what did I get in return? Humiliation and betrayal. So I'm telling you this honestly. Playing with people's feelings is a terrible thing. You shouldn't do it. Hearing that, MJ suddenly started crying. As Peter walked out of the room, the app gave him two choices. 1. Leave and pretend nothing happened. 2. Help this girl. Peter frowned. Why is the app giving me this option? Is she hiding something? Then he asked carefully, Are you in some kind of trouble? MJ angrily wiped her tears. Stop pretending to be a good person. Who are you to care about me? If you're really a good guy, then keep your mouth shut. As MJ walked away, Peter thought, things aren't as simple as they look. Suddenly, a notification appeared. New mission triggered. Activating tracking mode. When Peter stepped outside, he realized he could now track MJ's location. This feels exactly like a video game. But if she gets too far away, the arrow will disappear. And if that happens, I might fail the mission. I can't let that happen. So Peter began secretly following her. At the same time, his phone displayed the risk level of getting caught. Peter thought, if I want to avoid detection, I need to stay within the safe limit. Then the app warned him, you are about to be discovered. Peter looked around in confusion. There's nobody in this alley, and MJ hasn't even noticed me. So what's the danger? Suddenly, a dog started chasing him. Terrified, Peter jumped into a dumpster to hide. I'm sure the dog left by now. But then garbage collectors arrived and loaded the entire dumpster into their truck. Peter screamed internally, someone save me! At this rate, I'm going to get buried with the trash! Later, Peter finally escaped from the garbage processing company. My luck is seriously awful. I almost got recycled alive today. Then he suddenly spotted MJ again. What is MJ doing at a government hospital? Peter secretly watched from outside. MJ had come to visit her younger brother. She gently held his hand and said, I've earned a lot of money recently. Soon I'll get you treated at a better hospital. but her brother smiled weakly. I heard my illness can't be cured, so please stop wasting money on me. MJ immediately shook her head. Trust your big sister. Everything will get better soon. Watching from the window, Peter finally understood. So that's why she was doing all this. She's trying to pay for her brother's treatment. Just then, Peter accidentally stumbled and made noise. MJ immediately looked toward the window. Who's there? At that moment, Gary walked into the room. Seeing your condition really makes me feel bad. MJ frowned. Were you following me? Gary shook his head casually. No, I had no reason to follow you. I was just passing by and happened to see you here. But honestly, I'm pretty surprised. Then MJ told her brother, go outside and play for a little while. After he left, she closed the door and glared at Gary. Stop acting. Tell me why you really came here. Gary smirked coldly. I didn't want to come either. But I can't hold myself back anymore. I've been with you for a long time, and now I want to have some fun with you. MJ looked disgusted. What kind of behavior is that? Gary laughed mockingly. Stop pretending to be some innocent good girl. I already know what kind of girl you are, and I know everything you've been doing. MJ lowered her head. What do you want? Gary smiled and gave her two options. Option 1. I expose all your secrets publicly, and you already know how people will look at you after that. Option 2. I give you enough money to treat your brother. MJ asked quietly. And what do I have to do in return? Gary handed her a hotel room number. You already know what comes next. I don't have much time, so I won't wait long. I'm giving you 2 hours. Whatever happens after that won't be my fault. Then he smirked and added, oh, and take a shower before you come. There's no need to rush. MJ said tearfully, I never wanted to do this, but it looks like I have no other choice. Maybe this is just my fate. What else can I even do now? Brother, don't worry. I'll definitely get you treated. Just then, Peter Carter walked into the room and said, you shouldn't go. MJ looked shocked. Were you following me? Peter quickly replied, no, I just ended up here by coincidence. MJ thought to herself, what kind of coincidence is this? Is he lying just like Gary? Then she coldly said, if it's really a coincidence, then you can leave. Peter sighed. I overheard your conversation with that guy. I misunderstood you before, and I'm sorry for that. But you can't go to him. MJ looked at him helplessly. Then what am I supposed to do? Are you going to give me money for my brother's treatment? Peter lowered his head. I'm sorry, but I don't have that kind of money. MJ laughed bitterly. Then what am I supposed to do with your useless sympathy? Peter thought, how can I just stand here and watch this happen? I came here to help her. So why do I feel like the villain instead? Then Peter said firmly, wait, if your brother ever finds out what you sacrificed to save him, do you think he'll be happy? I don't want you to ruin your entire life. MJ suddenly grabbed his arm. Come with me. I want to show you something. Maybe then your way of thinking will change. She took Peter into a room and locked the door behind him. Peter immediately shouted, what are you doing? Let me out. MJ leaned against the door and said sadly, I have no choice but to lose against reality. I know you're a good person. That's why, once this is all over, I'll let you out. Please forgive me. Meanwhile, Gary was waiting impatiently. Why hasn't MJ arrived yet? A moment later, MJ finally entered the room. She looked at him coldly. Remember what you promised? Gary smirked. Yeah, but first I should at least enjoy myself properly. Deep down, Gary thought, I'm just trapping this girl. I'll never let her escape from me. Then he sneered. Stop acting like a dead body. You need to be more active, or this game won't be interesting. Suddenly, MJ pulled out a knife and pressed it against Gary's throat. Gary panicked. What are you doing? MJ glared at him. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to stay alive, transfer the money right now. Gary quickly raised his hands. All right, don't do anything stupid. I'm transferring the money. MJ warned him. Don't try any tricks. A few moments later, she checked her phone. Why hasn't the money arrived yet? Gary replied nervously. It should come any second now. But then another man suddenly entered the room and struck MJ from behind. Gary walked forward and slapped her across the face. You really are disgusting. Good thing I called my men beforehand. Then Gary turned to his goons. Stay outside. After I'm done having fun with her, I'll let you guys have your turn too. His men grinned. Don't worry, young master. No one will be able to enter. Gary smirked at MJ. I'm going to make you regret this. But right at that moment, Peter burst into the room and kicked Gary hard across the face. Gary's men shouted, Young master, are you all right? Gary roared angrily. Who the hell is this bastard? And how did he get in here? One of the men nervously replied. He said he was a food delivery guy. Before Gary could react, Peter slapped him again. Then Peter quickly turned to MJ. Are you okay? Blushing slightly, MJ nodded. Yeah, I'm fine. Peter sighed in relief. Thank God I made it in time. MJ looked confused. How did you even get out of that room? Peter explained. After you left, your brother came and let me out. He was crying and begging me to save his sister. MJ lowered her head. I'm sorry. Gary suddenly interrupted them furiously. You've talked enough already. I'm not letting either of you leave alive. My men are going to kill you both. Peter thought nervously. I'm in serious trouble now. What am I supposed to do against this many people? Gary immediately called in all of his men. Peter clenched his fists. How am I supposed to survive this? Then Peter suddenly saw Gary's memories. Gary secretly kept a female monkey as a pet. Peter smirked and said loudly, "So, you keep a monkey as a pet?" The moment Gary heard that, his expression changed completely. He immediately stopped his men and grabbed Peter by the collar. "How do you know about that?" Peter looked him straight in the eyes. "If you make a single move here, I'll tell everyone about your weird hobbies. And who knows, maybe your family will hear about it too." Gary started panicking internally. How does this guy know about my family situation? At the same time, Peter could see Gary's status information. Gary was desperately fighting to become the next head of his family. Peter continued, "I know you're working hard to become the head of your family, but if this secret gets out, you'll never become the leader." Gary's face darkened. "If that's the case, then I'll just kill you, and everything will end here." Peter calmly replied, "If you kill me, all the videos will automatically be uploaded to the internet." Gary gritted his teeth. "What do you want?" Peter answered immediately, "Let me and MJ leave, and never bother us again. After that, I'll hand over all the videos." Gary glared at him suspiciously. "Why should I trust you?" Peter replied coldly. "If you don't, then anything could happen to you." Finally, Gary let go of Peter's collar. "You really are a complete bastard." A little later, Gary was walking away with his men when someone suddenly stopped them and showed them a photograph. "Have you seen this guy?" Gary snapped angrily. "My mood is already terrible. Don't piss me off." But the mysterious man instantly beat up all of Gary's men and stepped on Gary's chest. Then he repeated coldly, "Have you seen this person?" And the man in the photo wasn't anyone else. It was Peter. The scene shifted back to Peter and MJ. MJ asked softly, "Are you okay?" Peter nodded. "Yeah, I'm fine." Suddenly, MJ stepped forward and kissed him. Peter's eyes widened. "What are you doing?" MJ looked at him seriously. "I admit that I've dated many people, but I never truly did anything with any of them. I want to become your girlfriend." At that exact moment, Peter received a notification. Mission complete. New girlfriend acquired. Peter blushed in embarrassment. Another girlfriend? Then he immediately ran away while shouting, "I already have a girlfriend. What am I supposed to do now?" Later, while Peter was walking down the street, the mysterious hooded man suddenly appeared in front of him. The moment the hooded man noticed Peter, Peter quickly got into an elevator. Then Peter received a phone call from an unknown person. "Are you Peter?" Peter frowned. "Who are you?" The man on the call replied, "It doesn't matter who I am, but please do exactly what I say. Otherwise, you could end up in serious trouble." Peter thought, "Is this guy joking?" The caller quickly added, "Please don't hang up. I need to talk to you about the app." Meanwhile, the hooded man waited downstairs for Peter to come out. As soon as someone exited the elevator, the hooded man grabbed him. But it turned out not to be Peter at all. The random man yelled, "Hey, what do you want from me?" Meanwhile, Peter secretly watched the hooded man from a distance. "I can't even see this guy's status. There's definitely something strange about him." Then the hooded man activated some kind of tracking device and instantly located Peter. Peter's eyes widened. "He found me," the hooded man shouted. "Stop right there, kid." Peter immediately started running, but in the process his phone slipped from his hand. A car ran right over it. Peter picked up the broken phone and panicked. "My phone is destroyed." But before he could escape, the hooded man grabbed him. "You're a very clever fox, but I finally caught you." Peter struggled nervously. "Who are you? You've got the wrong person." "I never did anything to you," the hooded man replied coldly. "Whether you did something to me or not, I'll find out soon enough. Until then, stay quiet." Suddenly, someone threw a smoke bomb nearby. Using the smoke as cover, Peter quickly escaped and ran away. The scene shifted and we were shown a laboratory. Peter looked around nervously and thought, "Where exactly am I?" Just then, a doctor walked up behind him and said, "Hello, Peter. My name is Dr. Octopus." Peter looked surprised. "So you're the one who was talking to me on the phone. But how do you know about the app?" Dr. Octopus replied calmly, "I know about it because I'm the one who created it. There's no need to discuss the app right now. Wouldn't you rather know who that man chasing you was? He belongs to the Sinister Six organization." Peter thought to himself, "Sinister Six? I've never even heard of them before. What did I possibly do to them?" Dr. Octopus shook his head. "You didn't do anything to them. In fact, neither the Sinister Six nor I belong to this world. We come from another dimension." Peter was completely confused. What is even happening right now? Then, Dr. Octopus handed Peter his repaired phone. Peter stared at it in shock. "My phone was completely destroyed, but he fixed it instantly like it was brand new. Maybe he really is telling the truth." Dr. Octopus suddenly looked embarrassed. "There's something important I need to ask of you. Please keep using the app to get more girlfriends." Peter froze in disbelief. "What?" Dr. Octopus quickly waved his hands. "Don't misunderstand me. I'll explain the truth behind the app. Just think of it as something necessary to save the world." Peter crossed his arms. "Doctor, I may look dumb, but I'm not actually stupid. How is getting girlfriends supposed to save the world?" Dr. Octopus sighed. "Since you asked, I'll tell you everything. This all started many years ago, long before the app was created. One day, an energy-filled meteorite crashed into my world. When I examined it, I realized the energy inside it was dormant. I tried countless methods to extract its power, but no matter what I did, I failed. At that moment in the flashback, another scientist approached him. She said, "Doctor, I've entered all the data into the system." Dr. Octopus nodded. "All right, you can leave now." But suddenly the woman began taking off her clothes. Dr. Octopus panicked. "What are you doing?" The scientist sat on his lap and whispered, "The only person I'm interested in is you. But you never pay attention to me. You're always focused on researching that stone. Am I really less attractive than a rock?" Dr. Octopus looked dizzy. "What did you mix into my drink earlier? I'm feeling really strange." The scientist smiled. "Relax. It'll help bring out the real man inside you." Dr. Octopus shook his head. "No, this isn't right. There are people outside." A little later, the two ended up enjoying together. Afterward, Dr. Octopus noticed something shocking. "I tried everything for years, but the stone's energy never reacted. But ever since this happened, the stone's energy has started fluctuating. Could it be that this kind of emotional and physical connection activates its power?" A few days later, two scientists were gossiping. Dr. Octopus used to hate people disturbing his lab, but now different women keep visiting every evening. Are they conducting some kind of new experiment? The sounds coming from the lab are incredibly loud. Meanwhile, the Sinister Six organization was creating powerful weapons to reshape their world, pushing it closer and closer to destruction. Eventually, they discovered the existence of the stone and began sending agents to steal it. Dr. Octopus continued explaining, "When I learned about that, I converted the stone's power into an app. Now you understand the connection between the app and why those people are after you." Peter immediately asked, "Can I just uninstall it?" Dr. Octopus shook his head. "It's too late for that. Because I traveled between dimensions, the app has now bonded with you permanently. And if you reach the affection limit with your current girlfriends, you'll be forced to get another one." Peter stared at him speechlessly. So this is basically a perverted app. Suddenly, alarms started blaring throughout the laboratory. A woman's voice echoed through the speakers. "Warning, intruders detected." At the same time, members of the Sinister Six began breaking into the facility. They shouted, "Doctor, looks like you're here after all. Finding you wasn't difficult." Dr. Octopus clenched his fists. "So those bastards found my hideout? Fine." Then he turned to Peter. "I'll open a capsule for you. It'll send you somewhere safe." Peter looked worried. "What about you, Doctor?" Dr. Octopus smiled calmly. "I'll stay behind and hold them off so you can escape safely." The sound of approaching enemies grew louder. Dr. Octopus muttered, "There's no more time. But don't forget to keep getting girlfriends." After Peter escaped through the capsule, Dr. Octopus suddenly realized something. I forgot to tell him something important. Meanwhile, Peter emerged from the capsule, directly inside a lake. As he sank underwater, he panicked. "I can't swim. What am I supposed to do now?" Suddenly, he dreamed that MJ was sitting in front of him. She smiled softly. "Are you okay?" Peter asked weakly. "Did you save me?" Then MJ leaned forward and kissed him. But when Peter suddenly opened his eyes, he realized it had all been a dream. A cat was sitting in front of him. Peter blinked in confusion. So that was just a dream. But where am I? At that moment, a girl entered the room. "You're awake." Peter looked at her. "Did you save me?" The girl stared at him strangely and thought, "This guy looks like a complete loser. How did he even manage to date Gwen?" Then Gwen entered the room excitedly. "Peter, you're awake." Peter sat up in shock. "What's going on here?" Gwen explained. "A little while ago, I was at the park and saw someone drowning in the lake. I told my friend that the person drowning was my boyfriend. Then Sister Mary and I rescued you together." She smiled and introduced the woman beside her. "This is Sister Mary, my current boss. She always takes really good care of me." Meanwhile, Mary secretly thought, "There's no way this trash is her boyfriend." Mary smiled sweetly. "Breakfast is ready. How about we eat first?" The three of them sat down and started eating. While Gwen wasn't paying attention, Mary touched Peter and whispered flirtatiously, "The food tastes really good, doesn't it?" Peter immediately became nervous. What exactly is this girl trying to do? Should I tell Gwen? But I don't even have proof that she's doing anything. Gwen noticed his face turning red. "Peter, are you okay? Why is your face so red?" Peter quickly replied, "It's really hot in here. That's why." Gwen stood up. "You two keep eating. I need to head to the coffee shop for work." Peter immediately asked, "Can't you stay here? And can I come with you?" Gwen shook her head. "I already talked to Sister Mary. You can stay here and rest until you fully recover." Peter thought nervously, "So I'm going to be stuck here for a few days. Why do I feel like something bad is about to happen?" The moment Gwen left, Sister Mary grabbed Peter and said seductively, "Now that Gwen's gone, we should have some fun." Peter looked confused. "What are you talking about? I'm still not feeling well. I can't even think properly right now." Suddenly, Mary placed Peter's hand against her body. "Can you hear my heartbeat?" Peter instantly pulled his hand back. "What exactly are you trying to do?" Mary smirked. I already took the initiative, and you still don't get it? You're surprisingly innocent and inexperienced. Peter pushed her away. Get off me. The two fell onto the bed, with Mary underneath him. Peter panicked internally. What am I supposed to do? I can't betray Gwen. This girl is definitely doing this on purpose. Then Peter suddenly discovered through the app that Mary was actually attracted to women. Peter was stunned. If she likes women, then why is she trying this with me? Wait, does she actually like Gwen? Meanwhile, Mary thought to herself, hurry up and do something already. In the future, I'll tell Gwen everything, and I'll claim you forced yourself on me. She'll definitely break up with you after that. Peter clenched his teeth. This girl is seriously messed up. I can't let her succeed. Later, Peter was taking a shower while thinking, my body feels really strange. Even though I'm showering, I still feel extremely hot. Could it be because of the breakfast? At the same time, Mary smirked to herself outside the bathroom. The medicine must finally be kicking in. Peter gritted his teeth. No matter what happens, I have to control myself. Otherwise, everything will be ruined. And just then, Mary quietly entered the room. Mary said flirtatiously, I've been taking the initiative this whole time, yet you still haven't done anything. Are you even a man? Meanwhile, Peter thought helplessly, there's nothing I can do anymore. Gwen, forgive me. Just then, several men arrived outside the gate and started shouting, Mary, open the door. Mary panicked internally. Of all times, this idiot had to show up now? She slapped Peter lightly and whispered, wake up. Peter looked confused. What are you doing? Mary quickly handed him a pill. This is the antidote to the drug. Hurry and take it. The man outside kept banging on the gate. Mary, open up. It's Bao Shan. Peter immediately said, just open the gate. I'll explain everything to him. Mary rolled her eyes. If you're in such a hurry to die, then go ahead and talk to him yourself. At the same time, she nervously wondered where she could hide Peter. Finally, Mary opened the gate. Bao Shan walked in angrily. What took you so long to open the door? I've been waiting outside forever. Mary calmly replied, I was taking a shower. But why did you bring so many people with you? Bao Shan smiled. We've officially been dating for a month now, so we came here to celebrate together. Mary quickly responded, we should celebrate outside instead. I didn't prepare anything at home. Bao Shan laughed. That's fine. I already prepared everything. As he spoke, his men carried a huge amount of food inside. Then Bao Shan leaned closer and said, we should spend some time alone together. Meanwhile, Mary nervously thought, I hope that idiot Peter is hiding properly. Otherwise, none of us are getting out of this alive. The moment Mary opened the room door, Peter quickly hid himself. Bao Shan suddenly frowned. This room smells like another man is here. Mary immediately snapped back. What nonsense are you talking about? I live here alone. You must be imagining things. Bao Shan narrowed his eyes. My instincts are extremely accurate. There's no way I'm wrong. Then he started searching the room carefully. After a while, he sighed. Looks like I made a mistake. Mary crossed her arms. So, did you find what you were looking for? Bao Shan apologized. Sorry, that was my fault. Don't be angry. Mary replied coldly. You completely ruined my mood. Then Bao Shan suddenly said, I still haven't checked under the bed. Under the bed, Peter panicked internally. Please, don't come here. Before Bao Shan could bend down, Mary suddenly covered his eyes. Bao Shan asked, what are you doing? Mary smiled seductively. I want to play a little game with you. What kind of game? He asked. Meanwhile, Peter thought, I was this close to getting caught. Mary whispered, close your eyes, and if you manage to find me, you can do whatever you want. The moment Bao Shan closed his eyes, Mary quickly pulled Peter out from hiding. Peter looked outside and thought, there are way too many people here. At that moment, one of Bao Shan's men stood up. I'm going to the bathroom. Peter secretly grabbed the man's shirt, put it on, and tried sneaking outside. But one of Bao Shan's guards stopped him. Where are you going? Aren't you supposed to be going to the bathroom? Luckily, the man got distracted by the game and stopped paying attention. Meanwhile, outside the gate, Gwen had arrived. She thought worriedly, Sister Mary hasn't answered my calls for a long time. There's an important customer waiting for her. Just then, Gwen spotted Peter trying to leave. Peter, why are you going outside? I told you that you could stay here until you fully recovered. She grabbed him and pulled him back inside. Then Gwen noticed Bao Shan's men. Who are you people? At the same time, the men looked at Peter suspiciously. Who are you? And why are you wearing our guy's clothes? Just then, Bao Shan returned and shouted, someone explain what's going on here. Peter quickly answered, I'm Gwen's boyfriend. If you don't believe me, ask Sister Mary. Mary secretly thought, this is the perfect opportunity to steal Gwen away from him. Then she suddenly said, yes, he's Gwen's boyfriend. But while Gwen was away, he tried to take advantage of me. Peter shouted angrily, stop lying. You were the one trying to take advantage of me. Then Peter grabbed Gwen's hand desperately. Please believe me, I'm innocent. Meanwhile, Bao Shan looked at Mary. Why are you crying? Mary immediately acted pitiful. This man was trying to do terrible things to me. Of course I'm crying. Bao Shan suddenly lost his temper. Drop the act. I've been here this whole time. Why didn't you tell me earlier? And after your little game, you were trying to help him escape. Then Baoshan walked toward Peter menacingly. You dared touch my woman? So tell me, how do you want to die? Then he looked at Gwen and smirked. You touched my girl. So now I'll have some fun with yours. Peter instantly panicked. Don't touch her. Baoshan's men immediately restrained Peter. Meanwhile, Baoshan walked over and touched Gwen's face. Then he suddenly slapped her. Mary stood there in shock. What is happening? I never wanted things to go this far. Peter's eyes filled with rage as he broke free and grabbed Baoshan's gun. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I couldn't protect you. Baoshan shouted at his men. Beat him to death. At that moment, the app inside Peter suddenly began glowing with power. A notification appeared. Energy storage complete. Peter charged forward and effortlessly defeated 2 of Baoshan's men. Peter thought in shock. What is this strength? Is this the app's power? Then he remembered Dr. Octopus's words. The stronger the power of love inside you becomes, the stronger you become. So if you want to save the world, you'll need many girlfriends. Peter finally understood. So this is what the doctor meant. Meanwhile, Baoshan clenched his fists. This guy is insanely strong, but all my men are watching. If I back down now, I'll lose all my pride. Shouting angrily, Baoshan charged toward Peter, but Peter instantly grabbed his arm and snapped it. With just one casual attack, Baoshan was completely overwhelmed. His men hurriedly grabbed him. Brother, we need to get you to the hospital immediately. Meanwhile, Peter rushed over to Gwen. Are you okay? Gwen nodded softly. Yes, I'm fine. At the same time, both Peter and Mary blurted out together. Nothing happened between us. Gwen sighed. Peter, there's something I want to tell you. Later, the 2 of them stepped outside together. Peter said nervously, Please trust me, I really didn't do anything. Gwen smiled gently. You know, throughout our lives we meet millions of people, but usually there's only one person who truly stays by our side. And for me, that person is you. Peter stood there silently. Gwen continued, I've already said what I wanted to say. Now go home and get some rest. As she walked away, Peter thought emotionally, Gwen, you're too good for me. Just then, Kylie's father suddenly appeared. He asked seriously, Peter, where have you been? Your phone wasn't even reachable for days. Peter scratched his head awkwardly. It's a long story. But why were you looking for me, uncle? Kylie's father replied, There's something extremely important I need to tell you. Later, Peter arrived at Kylie's house. Kylie's father announced proudly, I've decided to arrange your marriage with Kylie. I've already sent out the invitations. From now on, we'll all become one family. Peter was just about to tell him the truth when Kylie quickly stopped him. Don't do it. Peter looked stunned. Wait, are you seriously arranging the wedding this quickly? Kylie's father looked at Peter seriously and said, Don't joke around with me. Don't tell me you don't want to get married? Meanwhile, Peter panicked internally. Now I'm really trapped. What am I supposed to do now? Then the scene shifted to a little earlier. Kylie's father angrily said, You've caused me enough trouble already. Kylie replied, Dad, what are you talking about? Her father continued, Peter is just an employee in our company, and now you want to marry him. Kylie quickly said, Dad, I don't want to get married right now. But her father firmly replied, This is all your fault. And now you have to get married no matter what. Meanwhile, Peter thought, So this is what actually happened. I need to tell Uncle the truth. Just as Peter tried to leave, Kylie suddenly stopped him. In the process, Peter accidentally fell on top of her. Kylie immediately shouted, Get off me. At that same moment, Kylie's father was standing outside the door thinking, I yelled at Kylie too much. I should go inside and talk to her properly. But the moment he opened the door, he saw Peter lying on top of Kylie. Peter completely panicked after seeing him, and in the confusion he accidentally kissed Kylie. Kylie quietly thought to herself, Peter has saved me so many times. He's someone I can truly trust. Then, while looking at him emotionally, Kylie slowly started taking off her clothes. Peter instantly panicked. Miss, what are you doing? Kylie looked at him seriously. You'll have to take responsibility for me in the future. But Peter quickly stopped her. Don't do this. Kylie looked hurt. What? Am I not attractive? Do you hate me? Peter took a deep breath and finally confessed, The truth is, I already have a girlfriend. Kylie froze for a moment before asking, If that's true, then why didn't you tell me earlier? Peter explained awkwardly, I only agreed before because you said we were just pretending. I never thought things would turn out like this. Then Peter looked at her worriedly. Are you okay? Kylie turned away and said coldly, Nothing happened between us, so keep your mouth shut. Peter sighed. So what are we supposed to do now? Kylie replied, There's only one way. Soon, the two of them came up with a plan. Peter said nervously, If we do this, all the blame will fall on me. Kylie calmly replied, Don't worry. I'll explain everything to my father. And honestly, this is still better than getting married. Peter finally nodded. All right, I'll trust you. But we're trapped inside this room. And there are servants everywhere outside. Escaping won't be easy. That's when Kylie pointed toward a ventilation duct. You can escape through there. As Peter crawled away, Kylie watched him sadly and thought, I wish he would stay. It hurts watching him leave. Meanwhile, Peter reached a point where the ventilation split into 3 paths. The app suddenly displayed survival probabilities. If you go left, your survival rate will be 85%. If you go right, it will be 70%. Peter chose the right path and thought, no matter what, I have to get out of here. Soon, he saw light ahead, but when he jumped down, he landed inside a bathroom. Peter climbed back into the ventilation shaft in frustration. What am I supposed to do now? Finally, he sighed. Fine, there's only one option left. Then Peter pretended to faint. A little later, an ambulance was seen carrying him away from the mansion. Peter thought awkwardly, I never imagined I'd escape like this. Beside him stood a man who respectfully said, Young master, I was ordered to look after you. Meanwhile, Peter thought, I'm Peter Carter. I never thought I'd one day have to escape like this. Suddenly, another car crashed into the ambulance. Peter was badly injured in the accident and slowly crawled out of the ambulance. Then he noticed someone standing nearby. What are you doing here? Standing in front of him was a member of the Sinister Six organization. The man smirked. We meet again. Peter narrowed his eyes. How did you find me? The man replied, You used the artifact's power. That made tracking you much easier. Otherwise, finding you would have taken much longer. By the way, my name is Electro. Then Electro called several men over and they immediately covered Peter's head. The scene shifted again. This time Peter woke up on a strange island. He looked around nervously. Where am I? At that moment, Electro approached him and untied the ropes binding him. Peter frowned. What are you doing? Electro sighed apologetically. Sorry, I think we scared you a little too much. Peter looked confused. What do you mean? Electro explained. We investigated everything thoroughly, and we discovered that you and that criminal aren't working together. Peter asked carefully. What criminal? Electro showed him a picture of Dr. Octopus. This man is a wanted criminal. Peter was completely shocked. Electro continued. Dr. Octopus has been traveling across worlds for a long time. He steals rare and powerful artifacts, and the artifact you possess is one of them. He used you. I hope you'll help us unlock the artifact's power. Dr. Octopus placed blocks on it, and only you can remove them. I trust you. You'll stay here until you figure it out, and while you're here, feel free to rest. If you need anything, just tell me. Then Electro handed Peter his repaired phone. Here, your phone. Later, while Peter was wandering around the facility, he accidentally bumped into a girl. Sorry about that. The girl secretly slipped a note into his hand. It read, Don't trust Electro. The app suddenly gave Peter 2 choices. 1. Pretend nothing happened. 2. Investigate what's really going on here. While Peter was reading the note, another man approached him. My name is Elang. I'm one of the captains here. The boss asked me to introduce you to everyone. As Elang showed Peter around the island, Peter secretly thought, my phone signal is blocked, and I have no idea where I am. But one thing's obvious, this definitely isn't my city. Suddenly, a prisoner came running toward them. Elang instantly frowned. How did this guy escape? Without hesitation, Elang shot the prisoner in the leg. The prisoner begged desperately, Please forgive me. Please let me go. Elang calmly looked at Peter. Sorry about that. He's one of our prisoners who escaped. Peter looked disturbed. Prisoner? Elang explained. We handle many different operations. We travel between dimensions and capture dangerous criminals. Dr. Octopus was one of them. These people are extremely dangerous. You shouldn't get involved with them. At that moment, Peter received a notification. App updated. You can now read this person's data. Peter thought carefully. So the signal is finally back. But looking at this guy, I definitely can't trust him. And it feels like nothing here is as simple as it looks. Just then, several beautiful girls entered the area. Elang smiled. The boss sent them. You can choose any of them to be your assistant. Peter suddenly noticed that the same mysterious girl from earlier was among them. That's the girl who warned me before. Elang looked at him suspiciously. What are you thinking about? Do you know one of them? Peter quickly shook his head. No, nothing like that. To be honest, girls never really liked me before. So seeing this many beautiful girls around me is making me lose control a little. Elang laughed. Don't worry, brother. If you help us crack the artifact, you'll gain wealth, fame, and everything you could ever want. Peter thought to himself, who should I choose? There's no way they'll let me pick the girl I actually want. Then Peter pointed at another girl and said, I'll choose her. Elang immediately replied, Brother, forgive me, but this girl is seriously ill. She's not qualified to become your assistant. How about I pick someone else for you instead? As he said that, Elang selected the first girl instead. Then he turned toward his men. Arrest this girl and investigate all of her information. The girl desperately cried, I didn't do anything. Please let me go. Meanwhile, Peter looked at the girl and quietly asked, What's going on here? And who are you? The girl replied, My name is Yasha. I belong to the Space Administration. I got trapped here after failing a rescue mission. Peter immediately asked, Why did you give me that note earlier? And how did you know I wasn't part of their group? Yasha explained, Because I saw your name in the sinister organization's death records. Peter clenched his fists angrily. I ended up here because of that app. Yasha looked confused. What app are you talking about? Peter replied, I'm talking about the thing these people call an artifact. And I think that's the reason they brought me here. Yasha's expression changed instantly. So you really possess the artifact? Please activate the artifact's energy as quickly as possible so we can escape from here. Peter shook his head. Sorry, but this isn't the right time for that. Yasha frowned. What are you afraid of? Peter replied carefully, I don't even know what's required to activate its energy. Just then, Peter received another notification from the app. He immediately thought, I can't fully trust this girl either. She's hiding a lot from me. Yasha noticed his silence. What are you thinking about? Peter quickly lied. The artifact is damaged, and repairing it anytime soon won't be possible. Internally, Peter still thought, I can't completely trust her yet. Then Yasha suddenly said, I know a way for us to escape from here. A little later, the two of them arrived at the central laboratory. One of the guards stopped them. What do you want? Peter confidently replied, Are you blind? Don't you know your leader brought me here to crack the artifact? The soldiers answered, Our leader ordered us not to let anyone enter, so even you can't go inside. Peter shrugged dramatically. If that's the case, then I guess I can't do anything. Looks like unlocking the artifact is going to take a very long time. Hearing that, another soldier quickly interrupted. I think we should listen to him. If he actually cracks the artifact, we'll receive a huge reward. The guard immediately changed his attitude. Sir, please wait. You may enter. Inside the laboratory, countless scientists were busy working. Peter looked at them seriously. You've all done excellent work. But for now, please leave this place. Your boss asked me to personally study the artifact. The matter has become extremely confidential, so everyone needs to leave immediately. After all the scientists walked out, Peter turned toward Yasha. Now it's our turn. Yasha replied, We don't need to do much. We just have to break their security system and send a message to the Space Administration. At that moment, Electro suddenly entered the laboratory. Electro looked around suspiciously and shouted, What are all of you doing here? Shouldn't you be working? One of the scientists nervously explained. We were working, sir, but someone said he wanted to crack the artifact, so we all came outside. Electro immediately thought, Something feels wrong here. Meanwhile, Yasha was secretly unlocking all the blocked artifacts. She nervously thought, Please hurry. At the same time, Peter checked the security cameras and whispered, We wasted too much time. We need to leave now. Yasha looked frustrated. We were so close. I don't know if we'll get another chance like this. Suddenly, Peter grabbed her hand and asked, Do you trust me? Then, to Yasha's shock, Peter took off his shirt. What are you doing? At that exact moment, Electro arrived outside the room with his men and knocked on the door. Peter quickly stepped outside and acted naturally. Brother, what are you doing here? Electro suspiciously looked at both Peter and Yasha. What exactly are you two doing here? Peter awkwardly smiled. Please don't misunderstand. I was just doing research. Electro calmly replied, Finish your research quickly and come outside. I'll be waiting for you. Peter nodded. Yeah, I'll be out in just a second. Meanwhile, Yasha thought to herself, He made me take off my clothes just to protect me. He's actually a really good person. Suddenly, an announcement echoed through the base. All blocked systems and artifacts have been successfully unlocked. Hearing this, Peter excitedly grabbed Yasha in celebration, but immediately became embarrassed afterward. At the same moment, the app displayed a warning. S-rank mission incoming. Extreme caution is advised. Peter quickly opened the door and said, Electro, sorry for making you wait so long. Electro smiled calmly. It's fine. You were researching, after all. But next time, make sure to tell me what you're planning beforehand. Otherwise, unnecessary misunderstandings might happen between us. Peter nodded. All right, I'll be more careful next time. Then Peter and Yasha started walking away, but Electro suddenly stopped them. Peter turned back. What happened now? Electro replied. There's going to be a party here at the base in 2 days. Everyone on the island will attend. I'd like you to come as well. Peter smiled politely. Thank you for the invitation. Right then, one of Electro's men rushed over and whispered, All the blocked systems have been unlocked. This was definitely Peter and Yasha's doing. Electro calmly smirked. Don't worry, this is about to get very interesting. Meanwhile, Peter sighed in relief. We were almost caught today. Yasha smiled slightly. You look kind of foolish, but you're actually really smart. You used a pretty clever trick to get us out of there. Peter shrugged. I had no other choice. That was the only method I could think of. Yasha sighed sadly. It feels terrible that we failed in the end. Peter replied. We did everything we could. There's nothing else we can do now. Then Yasha suddenly said, We need to go to the prison. Peter looked confused. What do you mean? Yasha explained. The sinister organization has many enemies locked up there. One of them used to be a former member of the organization. He probably knows a lot about this place, and he might know where the escape airship is hidden. Peter nodded immediately. You're right. If we use that method, we might actually escape, but now Electro will definitely keep an eye on us, so leaving this place won't be easy. and getting into the prison won't be easy either. Then Yasha held up the invitation card and smiled. We can use this. The scene shifted to 2 days later. Peter raised a glass toward Electro and smiled. You've taken great care of us these past few days. So let's celebrate properly tonight. Electro smiled and said, You've become much better than before. To be honest, I think I can finally trust you with the artifact. Meanwhile, using the glass, Yasha secretly collected Electro's fingerprints. Peter then said, I'm feeling a little unwell, so I'll head back early and get some rest. Later, Peter and Yasha arrived outside the prison. Peter looked around and thought, there are surprisingly few guards here. As soon as he entered the prison, he saw countless prisoners locked inside miserable cells. Peter thought, these people don't look like they're being treated well at all. Suddenly, several prisoners surrounded him. What did you do to get thrown in here? In which dimension are you from? Peter immediately realized the situation was dangerous. Looks like we walked straight into a trap. Getting out of here is going to be a huge problem. At that moment, a man walked toward them. The second Yasha saw him, she exclaimed, You're Gucci. Gucci looked at her suspiciously. How do you know me? A moment later, Gucci asked them coldly, What do you want from me? Peter stepped forward. I need a favor. Tell me the exact location of the airships. Gucci smirked. And what exactly do I gain from telling you? Yasha replied. You betrayed the sinister organization. Don't you hate them? Gucci laughed. I never do anything without profit. Tell me what I'll gain first. Peter answered. We'll take you with us when we escape. Gucci shook his head. That's worthless. I doubt you can offer me anything useful. Then Yasha asked directly, What do you want? Gucci leaned back and grinned. I've been trapped in this miserable place for a very long time, so having someone to keep me company would feel pretty nice. I want a girl. Peter instantly refused. No, that's impossible. Gucci shrugged. Fine, then do whatever you want. To Peter's shock, Yasha suddenly said, Fine, I can give you my body. What's the problem? Peter angrily turned toward her. What kind of nonsense are you saying? Do you even realize what he wants from you? Yasha calmly replied, We'll do whatever it takes to escape from here. Peter shook his head firmly. But the price is too high. Yasha answered quietly, There's nothing more valuable than our lives. Peter looked straight into her eyes. Life has value, but without respect, nothing has value. If escaping here means sacrificing your dignity, then I'd rather stay trapped forever. I won't let you do something like that. And besides, I believe there has to be another way out. At that exact moment, the app displayed another notification. Yasha has officially become your girlfriend. Gucci interrupted them impatiently. So, have you two finished discussing it? Peter replied coldly. I already told you. What you're thinking will never happen. Gucci sighed and started walking away. Peter thought in relief. Good thing he didn't start a fight. Otherwise, this would have become a huge mess. But suddenly, Gucci threw a bottle directly at Peter. What the hell are you doing? Gucci glared at him angrily. Do you really think I'm planning to leave this place? Peter immediately stepped in front of Yasha. If there's a problem, fight me instead. Gucci walked up and punched Peter hard across the face. There's no point in giving you chances. You've been talking big this entire time. You're acting like I'm some kind of villain. Today I'll teach you what happens to people who try to play hero. The price of your heroism is your life. At the same time, Gucci's men grabbed Yasha. But instead of panicking, Peter suddenly started laughing. Gucci frowned. Have you gone insane from fear? Peter smirked confidently. The one who's going to die is you. And yet you're still acting like an idiot. Gucci growled. Don't make me angrier, kid. You're only making your death more painful. Peter suddenly exposed his secret. You're here because you leaked your organization's information, right? Gucci froze. How do you know that? Earlier, Peter had secretly read Gucci's status information through the app. Gucci was revealed to be an extremely lustful man who leaked confidential information while chasing after women. Peter continued. You're a liar. Gucci clenched his fists. If I hand you over to the boss, he'll definitely free me. Peter immediately countered. You've worked under your boss for years, so you should already know what kind of person he really is. Stop lying to yourself. Then Peter made him an offer. If you let us go, I'll repair the artifact, and I'll come back to save you. Gucci thought carefully. So the artifact really is with this guy. Still suspicious? He asked. Why should I trust you? What if you're lying to me? Peter answered seriously. This is your last chance to survive. Later, Peter and Yasha arrived inside the airship room. Peter looked around in confusion. I don't see any airships here. Did Gucci lie to us? Suddenly, the entire room started descending underground, eventually revealing a hidden airship chamber. Meanwhile, Gucci's boss arrived to meet him. Gucci nervously asked, Boss, what are you doing here? Electro smiled coldly. It's been a long time since we met. By the way, how long has it been since those two left? Gucci pretended not to understand. Boss, who are you talking about? Electro silently placed a laptop in front of him. You used to control the airship room. I know you have a backup plan, so tell me the access code immediately. Gucci forced a smile. I think you're mistaken. I have no idea what you're talking about. Electro then placed stacks of money in front of him. Those two are extremely important to me. If you tell me where they went, I'll forget everything from the past, and you'll be able to live freely with all this money. But Gucci still refused. Boss, I really don't know anything. Electro's expression darkened. You've worked with me for years, so you should know my patience has limits. At that moment, Gucci secretly used the laptop to lock all the airships. Then he nervously asked, Boss, can I leave now? Without hesitation, Electro pulled out a gun and shot him. There's no better freedom than death. Then Electro's men burned Gucci's body. Meanwhile, Peter happily hugged Yasha. We can finally escape from here. A moment later, he quickly let go and awkwardly said, Sorry, I got too excited. Yasha smiled warmly. No, you're a really good person. You saved me. Peter scratched his head awkwardly. Don't say that. We're friends now. Suddenly, Yasha stepped forward and kissed him. Peter immediately panicked. I don't think of you that way. Please don't do this. Yasha laughed softly. I was just joking. Come on, let's leave. But the moment they sat inside the vehicle and tried to start it, nothing happened. Yasha frowned. Did something break? Suddenly, an announcement echoed throughout the base. Unauthorized vehicle activation detected. Then Electro and his entire team appeared in front of them. Electro calmly said, Surrender. Otherwise, this is going to become very painful for both of you. Peter looked at his app anxiously. The energy tank still isn't fully charged. What am I supposed to do now? At that moment, Yasha suddenly whispered, There's only one way for us to escape. Then, without warning, she placed a knife against Peter's throat. Peter was stunned. What is she doing? Even Electro frowned. Don't try to fool me with tricks like this. Yasha shouted, I know he's valuable to you, so let me go. Otherwise, I'll kill him. Electro slowly stepped forward. Don't move any closer, Yasha warned, or I'll kill him right now. Peter instantly realized her plan. So this is what she meant when she said this was our last chance. Electro slowly moved even closer before finally saying, Fine, I'll unlock the airship. Yasha warned him again. Don't play games with me, or he dies. Electro unlocked the airship and stepped aside. You can leave now. But the very next second, Electro suddenly turned around, snatched the knife from Yasha's hand, and pointed a gun directly at her head. You're not escaping. Just then, Peter suddenly stepped in front of Yasha to protect her. Electro looked at Peter and asked, So you want to save her? Peter replied, She doesn't deserve to die like this. Electro smirked. Then give me a reason not to kill her. Peter answered seriously, From now on, I'll focus completely on my work. I'll try to crack the artifact as quickly as possible, and she can become my first experimental subject. Electro stared at him for a moment before replying, I'm trusting you. Don't betray me. As Yasha was taken away, Peter silently thought, No matter what happens, I'll save you. A few days later, Peter was still trapped inside the laboratory. I've been here for days, but I still have no idea how I'm supposed to rescue Yasha. At that moment, he overheard two scientists talking nearby. One of them carefully carried a test tube and said, This tube is filled with sleeping gas. Handle it carefully. Peter immediately walked up to them and lied. The boss is calling for you. You should go see him right away. As soon as the scientists left, Peter secretly stole one of the gas tubes. Just then, Captain Elang approached him. Peter quickly said, I need to see Yasha. I think my experiment might finally succeed after this. Elang nodded. Fine, you can go. Soon, Peter arrived at Yasha's room. Yasha looked surprised. What are you doing here? Peter smiled faintly. I came to save you, Yasha asked. But how? Peter replied confidently. I have my own methods. Meanwhile, Captain Elang suddenly felt dizzy. My head feels really heavy. I should go drink some water. A few seconds later, he collapsed unconscious. Peter then appeared beside him and took his gun. Yasha worriedly said, All the vehicles here are locked. How are we supposed to escape? As they moved forward, they overheard two guards talking. One of the prisoners escaped. He's completely insane now. He killed someone yesterday. The second guard nervously replied, I hope we never run into him. Otherwise, we'll end up dead too. Peter suddenly pointed Elang's gun at them. Tell me how to get out of this place. Later, Peter and Yasha arrived at a hospital building. Peter frowned. I asked them for the exit, but they sent us to a hospital instead. Yasha guessed, maybe there's an airship hidden here. Suddenly, they heard strange noises nearby. Peter quickly turned toward her. Yasha, are you okay? But the moment he looked beside him, Yasha had disappeared. Peter turned around and suddenly saw Gucci standing behind him. But when he looked again, Gucci vanished. Peter nervously muttered, Am I hallucinating? Suddenly, the floor beneath him started collapsing. At the same time, Yasha realized she had been tied up. Standing in front of her was the same serial killer the guards had mentioned earlier. Yasha immediately thought, So this is the crazy woman they were talking about. The moment Yasha broke free and tried to run away, the killer screamed, I'm going to kill you. Yasha quickly hid inside a drawer cabinet. The killer raised her weapon and growled, You're not escaping. Just as she was about to attack, the ceiling suddenly collapsed. Peter crashed down directly on top of the killer. Peter looked toward Yasha and asked, Are you all right? Yasha stared at him in shock. How did you even get here? Peter sighed. A lot happened on the way. By the way, who is this girl? He picked up the killer's axe and examined it. This looks way too real, Yasha quickly explained. She's the insane murderer killing everyone here. Before Peter could react, the killer snatched the axe back and attacked him. Peter dodged her strike and immediately shot her. At the same time, Yasha found a notebook inside a cabinet. I found this. Inside the notebook was a map showing the route to escape from the facility. But before they could celebrate, the serial killer stood back up again. Yasha shot her repeatedly, but it had absolutely no effect. What kind of monster is this? The killer charged at them again. Peter immediately yelled, Yasha, hide somewhere safe. I'll lure her away. Using the navigation feature from his app, Peter sprinted through the building while the killer chased him. Eventually, he reached a library. She's getting really close. Peter suddenly looked around nervously. No way, she's right behind me. The next second, the entire library exploded apart behind him. The serial killer screamed, I won't let you escape. But suddenly, she vanished. Peter looked around in confusion. Where did she go? At that moment, a man in a wheelchair approached him. Peter asked cautiously, Who are you? The man replied, My name is Tan, and I'm the one who wrote that notebook. Peter looked shocked. If you wrote it, then why didn't you escape? And how are you still alive? Tan smiled mysteriously. I survived because I discovered something incredible. Peter narrowed his eyes. What did you discover? Tan replied, Come with me. I'll take you to your friend first. We can talk afterward. Soon, Peter reunited with Yasha. The moment she saw Tan, she panicked. Run! Tan and that serial killer are working together. Tan calmly replied, I did exactly what you asked. So, can I leave now? Suddenly, the serial killer attacked Tan and killed him instantly. After that, she trapped Peter and Yasha inside the room before leaving. Peter clenched his fists. I have no choice now. I'll have to use the artifact. Yasha looked confused. I thought you said the artifact was damaged. Peter lowered his head. I'm sorry. At first, I didn't trust you. That's why I kept everything hidden. But you've saved my life too many times. I can't keep lying to you anymore. Yasha impatiently asked, Then why aren't you activating it already? We need to escape. Peter awkwardly replied, You don't understand how the artifact works. Yasha stared at him in disbelief. What kind of idiot are you? How can you joke around at a time like this? Peter shook his head. I'm not joking. This is literally the only way to use it. And just like that, their system went online, causing the artifact's energy tank to finally fill completely. The moment the serial killer returned, Peter attacked her head-on. Using her own axe, he cut her down. But to his horror, she regenerated once again. How is that possible? How did she recover again? Peter quickly scanned her using the app and finally discovered her weakness. Light. Without wasting a second, Peter switched on every light in the room. The intense brightness finally destroyed the serial killer for good. Afterward, Peter and Yasha ran all the way to the airship hangar. Peter sighed in relief. Finally, we can escape now. But suddenly, a familiar voice echoed behind them. You two took quite a while to get here. I've been waiting for you. It was Electro. Peter froze. How does he know about this place? Electro smiled confidently. You seem confused. Let me explain. Everything that happened until now was part of my plan. I wanted to learn the secret of the artifact. All the events you experienced were carefully orchestrated by me. And the things you saw earlier, we created them using holographic projections. Then Electro revealed the biggest shock of all. And yes, Yasha is also part of my team. Peter's eyes widened in disbelief. She betrayed me? He immediately turned toward Yasha. Yasha, he's lying, right? Yasha lowered her head. No, Boss Electro is telling the truth. Everything I did was to gain your trust. I needed you to reveal how the artifact could be activated. Now that we know the secret, capture Peter. He's no longer useful. But the next second, Yasha suddenly pointed a gun directly at Electro's head. Electro frowned angrily. What are you doing? I don't like these kinds of jokes. Yasha coldly replied, I'm not joking either. Electro's expression darkened. So you betrayed me? Do you realize what the consequences will be? Yasha ignored him and looked at Peter. Go. Leave this place. Then she apologized softly. I'm sorry for deceiving you, but I had a very important reason for doing all of this. Peter shook his head. You don't need to explain anything. I trust you completely. Let's leave together. But Yasha stopped him. Get inside the airship first. There's a blue box inside. Open it. Then we can leave together. Peter quickly entered the airship and opened the blue box. Inside was a letter from Yasha. I'm sorry, but I can't leave this place. I want you to return alive. Otherwise, these people will kill you. Suddenly, the airship's autopilot activated automatically. Peter desperately shouted, You didn't have to do this. But the airship had already started leaving the base. Meanwhile, Yasha silently thought, You deserve to live a good life. Later, Peter finally returned home. Ever since this app entered my life, everything has changed. I still don't know whether this thing is a blessing or a curse. Exhausted, Peter placed his phone down and fell asleep. A little later, a girl quietly entered his room. From today onward, I'll have to stay here. It's so annoying that the guy who used to live here disappeared for so long. She climbed onto the bed and lay down beside him. Both Peter and the girl suddenly sensed someone else nearby. The girl instantly sat up. "Who are you?" Peter rubbed his eyes and replied, "I should be asking you that. This is my house." The girl crossed her arms. "Oh really? This house belongs to you?" Peter then remembered the situation. He had been renting this apartment, but after disappearing for so long, his unpaid rent had piled up. And this girl was actually his landlord's daughter, Shirley. Shirley glared at him. "You finally came back. Pay the rent immediately. Then you can stay here." Peter awkwardly thought, how am I supposed to pay her? "I'm completely broke," he nervously admitted. "I don't have any money." Without hesitation, Shirley slapped him. Peter shouted, "Stop being violent. I'll pay you back slowly." Shirley smirked. "Then you'll have to give me something valuable as collateral." Peter sighed helplessly. "I don't even own anything valuable." Shirley leaned closer. "Oh, you definitely have something valuable," Peter nervously asked. "What exactly do you mean by that?" At that moment, Shirley pulled out a knife. "So you really don't have money?" Peter immediately thought, this girl is seriously dangerous. Shirley then grabbed a broom and pointed it at him. "Well, there's only one option left now." Peter looked confused. "What are you talking about?" Shirley smiled mischievously. "From now on, you're going to work here as labor to repay your debt." The scene then shifted to Shirley's house. Peter was sitting there, massaging her feet, while thinking, this feels terrible. It honestly feels like I sold myself. Just then, another housekeeper walked over and stared at him. Peter asked, "Why are you looking at me like that?" The man replied, "I'm not actually a housekeeper either. I came here just like you did, and I've been stuck working here ever since." Peter was shocked. "For that long?" The man warned him. "I'll just say this, be very careful around here." As he walked away, he added, "And don't call me uncle. I'm only 40 years old. You can call me Brother Ben." Peter stared at him in disbelief. This girl even trapped a 40-year-old man here. How am I supposed to survive in this place? I seriously need to borrow some money and get out of here. He started thinking about who could help him. Maybe Kylie could help me. But I literally ran away from her house because I was scared of marriage. Her family is probably watching her closely right now. Then maybe I should ask Gwen for help. But I haven't contacted her in a long time. If I suddenly ask her for money, it'll feel really awkward. Looks like I'll have to use the app again. Just as Peter was about to activate the app, Shirley suddenly appeared. "Before I come back, clean this entire room." At that moment, the app displayed two choices, yes or no. Peter immediately became nervous. Why is the app forcing me to choose? Is something dangerous about to happen? Shirley angrily shouted, "Can't you hear me?" Peter sighed internally. Looks like refusing isn't an option. Soon, Peter finished cleaning the room. "I'm exhausted." Meanwhile, Shirley was checking her clothes when she suddenly froze. "One of them is missing. Did Peter steal it?" She immediately stormed over to him. "It seems I misunderstood you." Peter thought hopefully, maybe she finally changed her mind. Maybe she's going to let me go home. But instead, Shirley glared at him and shouted, "I never thought you'd be such a pervert that you'd steal my underwear." Peter was stunned. "What? I didn't steal anything." Shirley immediately attacked him. "Stop lying." Peter defended himself desperately. "You've definitely made a mistake." Shirley snapped back. "You were the only person in that room. If you didn't take it, then who did?" Peter suddenly remembered something. Brother Ben was there too. He immediately told Shirley, "I think I know who did it." Soon after, Peter arrived at Brother Ben's room. Peter asked seriously, "Did you steal Miss Shirley's underwear?" Brother Ben looked confused. "What are you talking about?" Peter narrowed his eyes. "Stop acting innocent and tell me the truth." Brother Ben sighed. "I seriously have no idea what you're talking about." Peter started thinking carefully. Honestly, nothing about Brother Ben seemed suspicious. Everyone praises him. And I don't feel like he'd steal something like that, but I should still check the room once. Peter began searching the room. At that moment, Shirley entered and said, "Now I'll finally find out which one of you is the real thief." After searching the entire room, Peter lowered his head. "Brother Ben, I'm sorry. This whole thing is my fault. Now you've gotten dragged into this mess because of me." Brother Ben smiled faintly. "This isn't your fault. I used to be just like you," Peter tearfully replied, "but I really didn't steal anything." Brother Ben quickly shook his head. No, that's not what I meant." Then he pulled out a painting. Peter looked confused. "Whose picture is that?" Brother Ben smiled nostalgically. "My ex-girlfriend painted this for me. She loved painting." Peter said, "You must really miss her." Brother Ben laughed softly. "Not really. She's become a famous painter now, and this painting has become extremely valuable. Soon, I'll finally be free from this place." At that moment, Peter suddenly realized something. The painting is valuable. Maybe someone stole the underwear because of the diamond attached to it. Peter's eyes widened. "Brother Ben, I finally understand how we can clear our names." Soon, Peter returned to Shirley. Shirley crossed her arms. "So how exactly are you going to prove your innocence?" Peter confidently explained. "Everyone assumed the underwear was stolen because someone was being perverted. but I think this is a special case. Shirley frowned. Stop talking in circles and get to the point, Peter continued. The thief didn't actually want the underwear. They wanted the valuable item hidden inside it. Shirley suddenly remembered something. Wait, there really was a diamond attached to it. Peter immediately asked Brother Ben, did anyone recently leave this villa? Brother Ben nodded. A girl named Jolly used to work here. She resigned recently because she got sick and returned to her hometown. Without wasting a second, Shirley pulled out her bike. Get on, and hold on to me tightly. Peter blushed immediately. That's really not necessary. Shirley smirked. You're going to regret saying that. Moments later, Shirley drove the bike at terrifying speed. After getting off, Peter looked completely destroyed. As soon as they knocked on the door, Jolly opened it. Jolly nervously said, young miss treated me very kindly. Why would I ever steal from you? Peter immediately replied, stop acting. Your emotional manipulation won't work here. At the same time, Peter thought, I've seen behavior like this before. Good thing I have the app, otherwise I might have believed her. Jolly then pointed at Peter. What if you're the real thief? Suddenly, the door burst open and a masked man entered the house. I'm here to rob this place. Shirley immediately froze. That voice sounds familiar. The masked man suddenly shot at Jolly. To protect her, Shirley jumped in front of the bullet. Then, everyone realized the truth. The robber was actually Brother Ben. Jolly shouted, get out of my house right now or I'll call the police. Peter calmly replied, if you call the police, you're going to regret it, because I already know where the stolen underwear is hidden. Peter then walked toward a wall clock. I'm sure there's something behind this clock. He removed the clock and knocked on the wall. Soon, he discovered a hidden button. The moment he pressed it, a hidden box popped out. Jolly's face instantly turned pale. I've been caught. Peter pulled out the box and asked, so Jolly, what do you have to say now? Jolly pointed angrily at Shirley. You always suspected me. That's why you had someone spying on me. Peter immediately interrupted her. Stop making excuses. If Miss Shirley really suspected you that much, then why would she risk her life to save you earlier? She literally put herself in danger for you. Jolly fell silent. Then she finally asked, how did you even figure out that I was the thief? Peter explained calmly. It was all because of Brother Ben. When he entered earlier, everyone focused on him because they thought he was the robber. But you weren't looking at the robber. You kept staring at the clock. From beginning to end, I kept watching your reactions. And little by little, you exposed yourself. He then sighed. Greed really makes people lose their minds. The moment Peter pulled out the diamond, Jolly collapsed onto the floor and started crying. Soon after, Peter and Shirley left the house together. As they walked away, Shirley quietly thought about Peter. Peter is actually way smarter than I expected. Just then, she received a message on her phone. Oh right, I completely forgot there's a dinner party tonight. At the same time, Peter was thinking, if I ever become rich, I'll definitely buy a diamond like this for Gwen too. Suddenly, a random man threw a banana peel onto the road. The moment Peter stepped on it, he slipped and fell, and the diamond flew straight into the drain. Peter panicked. That was an accident. Shirley immediately exploded in anger. You just lost my precious diamond. Peter gulped nervously. I'm dead. But then Shirley walked closer and said, if you do one thing for me, maybe I'll forgive you. Soon after, Peter and Shirley changed their clothes and arrived at another marketplace. Peter sighed internally. Seriously? Someone's asking me to pretend to be their boyfriend again. Last time I barely escaped alive. I just hope nothing goes wrong this time. As soon as they entered the restaurant, a man waved at Shirley. Shirley, you came pretty early. Then he looked at Peter. Who's this guy? Shirley casually replied, he's my boyfriend. She then whispered to Peter, the guy in front of you is my classmate. His name is Jumo. Peter immediately understood the situation. So that's why she brought me here. This guy is obviously interested and looks like he's completely obsessed with her. Meanwhile, Jumo was staring at Peter suspiciously. What kind of relationship does this loser even have with Shirley? There's no way he's actually her boyfriend. Peter smiled politely and said, it's nice meeting you. Your Chinese is surprisingly good. Ju looked confused. What do you mean by that? Peter replied, I heard you were from a nearby island, so I assumed you wouldn't know Chinese. The man instantly corrected him. I'm not from any island. My surname is Ju, and my family is extremely wealthy. At that moment, a girl walked up to Ju. Ju frowned and asked, what are all of you doing here? Weren't you supposed to be having dinner? The group explained, the cafe corner restaurant turned us away. We told them we were having a reunion party and begged them to let us in. But they said the restaurant is currently closed to the public. So now we don't know where to go. Ju immediately started thinking, if I help everyone here, I'll become the hero. And Shirley will definitely fall for me. Peter stared at him awkwardly. Why is this guy making such weird expressions? After thinking for a while, Ju said, wait here for 2 minutes. I'll go talk to the cafe owner. A little later, security guards threw Ju out of the restaurant. Ju shouted angrily, you people are unbelievable. Do you even know who my father is? If I want, I can shut this entire cafe down. Just then, 2 bodyguards arrived at the entrance. Trying to save face, Zhu turned to everyone and said, "Forget this place. We should just find another restaurant. We only came here to party anyway." Meanwhile, Peter was deep in thought. Should I step in and play the hero here? Looks like I have no choice. Peter then told everyone, "I'll go give it a try." Zhu scoffed immediately. "Even I couldn't get inside. You're just wasting everyone's time." Then he turned toward Shirley. "So what should we do now?" Shirley calmly walked over to Peter and said, "Do whatever you want." Peter then entered the restaurant. Meanwhile, Shirley thought silently, "If you fail, you're seriously done for." Inside the restaurant, the female owner was sitting alone and drinking heavily. Her brother kept pleading with her, "Please stop drinking." At that moment, Peter approached them. The owner's brother immediately shouted, "Get out of here!" As security started dragging Peter away, he secretly used his app to read the owner's status. The app revealed that the owner still missed her first boyfriend deeply, and because of that emotional pain, she had become extremely depressed. Peter suddenly spoke up, "Please let me stay. I can help her." The owner's brother stopped and asked suspiciously, "How exactly are you going to help her?" Peter asked, "Was your sister in a relationship recently?" The brother snapped back, "What nonsense are you talking about? My sister is already married, and she's very happy." Peter calmly replied, "There's one thing people can never truly forget. First love." The brother immediately denied it. "That's impossible. That guy was a complete jerk. My sister forgot about him a long time ago. I even taught him a lesson afterward." Peter continued, "But there's still one regret she's been holding on to. She never got closure. That's why she's suffering. It would really help her if she could face him one last time." The brother angrily replied, "I don't even have that guy's contact information anymore." Peter suddenly smiled. "I think I have an idea." He whispered something into the brother's ear. A little while later, the owner was sitting there drinking when someone suddenly grabbed her hand. She angrily shouted, "Are you insane?" But the moment she looked up, she froze. Sometime later, the owner's brother returned to Peter and said, "Your idea actually worked. I brought another guy dressed exactly like her ex-boyfriend. My sister beat him up like crazy, but afterwards she finally felt much better." Then he looked at Peter suspiciously. "How do you know so much about my sister? Are you interested in her or something?" Peter quickly waved his hands. No, nothing like that, but I do need one favor from you." Soon after, Peter walked back outside with a tired expression. Zhu immediately mocked him. "Took you long enough. Looks like they beat you up inside. You enjoyed embarrassing yourself, huh?" But then Peter calmly announced, "Everyone can come inside now." Zhu was completely shocked. "How is that even possible?" Then he clenched his fists. "I'm not letting this guy off that easily." Inside the restaurant, Zhu suddenly acted friendly toward Peter. "There was a misunderstanding between us earlier, so I want to apologize." Meanwhile, Peter checked Zhu's favorability score with the app. 300 points. Peter immediately thought, "This guy hates me so much. So why is he suddenly acting nice?" Just then, Zhu received a message saying, "I'm ready." Zhu then stood up and said, "I'm not feeling very well. I'll step outside for a while." Outside, Zhu secretly signaled a girl and whispered, "The guy sitting over there is your target." The girl immediately walked over and hugged Peter tightly. Peter looked confused. "Who are you?" The girl whispered nervously, "Please don't create a scene here." Peter pushed her away. "You've got the wrong person. I'm not who you think I am." Suddenly, the girl slapped him hard across the face. Peter was stunned. "What the hell is going on here?" The girl started yelling dramatically, "You used me before, and now you're pretending you don't even know me." Everyone in the restaurant immediately turned against Peter. What a scumbag. He already has a beautiful girlfriend like Shirley, and he's cheating on her too? The girl then grabbed Peter by the collar and shouted, "So you already have a girlfriend? Were you cheating on me too?" Peter instantly realized the truth. Zhu definitely hired this girl. Using the app, Peter checked the girl's condition and discovered that she had a dangerous disease. To get revenge on men, she intentionally spread it to them. The app also revealed that Zhu himself had already been infected. Peter then viewed the girl's memories and confirmed she had previously been with Zhu. As the girl tried choking him, Peter grabbed her hair and pushed her away. Then he suddenly announced loudly, "Oh right, I forgot to tell everyone. I'm actually a doctor, and this woman is my patient. She's suffering from a very dangerous disease that can spread to her partner." The moment Zhu heard that, his face turned pale. Peter continued seriously, "At first you'll only feel a little itchiness, but after that, painful blisters will start appearing all over your body, and eventually, you'll die an extremely painful death." Zhu instantly started panicking. "The last time I slept with her? Don't tell me I got infected too." Peter then looked at Zhu and asked, "Are you okay?" Zhu nervously replied, "You were saying something earlier." He didn't finish. Peter calmly continued, "In the final stage, all your organs will rot, and there's absolutely no cure." Then Peter turned toward the girl and said, "You hate men so much that you take revenge on them in ways they could never imagine." The moment Zhu heard that, he completely lost control. "So she infected me on purpose?" He immediately grabbed the girl by the throat and shouted, I'm not letting you get away with this. A little later, everyone finally left the restaurant. Shirley looked at Peter and said, because of you, everything was solved smoothly. But from what I know about you, you're definitely not a doctor. So how did you know all that about their relationship? Peter had no answer. But before he could say anything, someone suddenly pressed a gun against him. It was Gwen. Where have you been all this time? I've been looking for you everywhere. Then Gwen glanced at Shirley and asked coldly, who is she? Shirley immediately replied, this guy is my boyfriend. Hearing that completely shocked Gwen. So that's why you disappeared for so long. You were avoiding me. Fine. I hope you enjoy your new life. With tears in her eyes, she turned around and started walking away. Peter immediately panicked. Please wait. Listen to me first. Meanwhile, Gwen was walking down the street crying, completely heartbroken. Suddenly, a car pulled up beside her, and she was kidnapped. Back at the restaurant, Shirley looked guilty. I'm sorry. I thought she was acting too. That's why I said all those things. Peter lowered his head. I should have talked to her earlier. This is all my fault. At the same time, he desperately thought, Gwen, where are you? Can you forgive me? The scene then shifted. Gwen woke up tied to a chair somewhere unknown. My head hurts so much. Where am I? Suddenly, a man touched her body and whispered, from now on, you belong to me. At the same time, Peter suddenly woke up in shock. That dream was terrifying. He quickly checked Gwen's messages, but she still hadn't replied. Just then, someone knocked on Peter's door. Peter wondered, who could it be? When he opened the door, he was shocked to see Shirley standing there with Gwen. Peter immediately panicked. What happened to Gwen? Shirley explained. When we were on the road, your girlfriend suddenly disappeared. I thought it was really strange, so I followed her on my bike and brought her back. Peter nervously asked, will Gwen be okay? Shirley nodded. Don't worry. I already talked to a doctor. She was just extremely frightened. That's why she ended up like this. Peter started thinking deeply. So just like Shirley said, was someone actually targeting Gwen? But I've never even heard Gwen mention anyone who hated her. Shirley replied, hate isn't the only reason people attack someone. Maybe it was robbery, or maybe someone has a grudge against you. Hearing that instantly shocked Peter. Shirley suddenly laughed. Why are you taking this so seriously? I was just joking. In movies, villains always kidnap the hero's girlfriend first. But Peter's expression became serious. Could this be the work of the Sinister Six organization? At that moment, someone secretly started recording them from Gwen's room. Then Peter checked the time and sighed. It's really late now. We should all get some sleep. Shirley immediately replied, I'm sleeping here tonight? Peter thought, so Shirley and Gwen are going to sleep together? Shirley instantly glared at him. Don't start imagining weird things. I'll sleep on the bed with your girlfriend. You can sleep on the couch. As Shirley lay down, she secretly thought, Gwen really does have an amazing figure. But I'm not exactly bad looking either. Later that night, after Shirley fell asleep, Gwen quietly got up and walked toward Peter. She slowly tried to take his phone, but Peter suddenly grabbed her hand. Gwen? Meanwhile, Shirley woke up and looked beside her. Huh? Where did Gwen go? At that moment, Gwen climbed on top of Peter and whispered, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you before. I'll make it up to you properly now. Then she kissed him, but hidden in her hand was a knife. Right then, Shirley walked into Peter's room. Your girlfriend disappeared, so I came to check. But the moment she turned on the light, she froze after seeing the scene in front of her. Sorry for disturbing you. Peter quickly said to Gwen, you should go rest. Gwen silently returned to her room and lay back down. A little later, Shirley quietly approached Gwen again. Gwen looked confused. What are you doing? Shirley narrowed her eyes. When you were in Peter's room, I saw something in your hand. Gwen calmly replied, I don't know what you're talking about. Shirley coldly answered, don't try to fool me. I'm not as naive as Peter. Did you come here to kill him? Gwen immediately shook her head. I really like Peter. I would never hurt him. Shirley finally sighed. If that's true, then let's just sleep. Meanwhile, Peter was lying awake on the couch. I kept hearing strange noises all night. Should I go check what's happening? No. If I interrupt them, Shirley will kill me. At the same time, Gwen quietly started crying. Shirley secretly thought, maybe I bullied her too much while testing her, and she didn't even have anything suspicious on her. But I still have a really bad feeling about this. Suddenly, the mask covering Gwen's face cracked slightly. Underneath it, she wasn't human. She was actually a robot. An alert from her system appeared. Repair yourself immediately, or your identity will be exposed. The moment Shirley saw Gwen's real face, she was completely horrified. Immediately, Gwen grabbed Shirley by the throat. Shirley desperately smashed a nearby vase over Gwen's head. At the same time, Peter heard the loud crash. That sounded dangerous. I should check what's going on. Peter knocked on Shirley's door. Shirley, are you okay? I'm coming in. Before he could enter, Gwen knocked Shirley unconscious and then pretended to faint as well. Later, Peter brought both girls to the hospital. The doctor explained they only suffered minor injuries, but both of them are mentally terrified. They may experience psychological trauma, so please be prepared. Afterward, Peter sat beside Gwen. A few moments later, Gwen slowly opened her eyes. Peter? Peter sighed in relief. That's good. She still remembers me. Gwen slowly sat up. Are we in a hospital? Peter nodded. Yeah. It's a long story. Do either of you remember what happened last night? Gwen answered calmly. Shirley was telling me stories about her grandparents, but suddenly she lost control. After that, I don't remember anything. Peter immediately thought, Gwen wouldn't lie to me. Maybe I was overthinking everything. At that moment, Shirley suddenly woke up too. Where am I? Peter smiled. Shirley, you're awake. Are you okay? But Shirley looked directly at him and asked, Who are you? Peter froze in shock. Wait, did the trauma make her lose her memory? Peter quickly asked, You don't remember me? We lived together, and I helped you recover your diamond. Shirley suddenly smiled brightly. Oh right, now I remember. Then she hugged Peter tightly. You're my boyfriend. Peter immediately looked toward Gwen with a terrified expression. This isn't my fault. She hugged me on her own. Shirley then looked at Gwen suspiciously. Who are you? Gwen frowned. You forgot me too? I'm Peter's girlfriend. Shirley instantly turned toward Peter. Peter, what is she talking about? Peter awkwardly replied, What am I even supposed to say here? Later, the three of them finally left the hospital. Suddenly, Peter's app activated and gave him a notification. You have 1 minute to choose which girl you will go with. At the same time, both girls grabbed his arms. Come with me. Peter panicked internally. What am I supposed to do now? Gwen softly said, You disappeared for a long time. I have so many things I want to talk about with you. And I've been preparing something special for you too. Peter thought to himself, Gwen is my real girlfriend. She's always treated me well. There's no reason for me to leave her. But then Shirley suddenly looked depressed. I guess you don't need me anymore. Fine. I'll leave. There's nothing left for me in this world anyway. I can't even remember anything. Peter immediately became worried. If I leave Shirley alone like this, her condition might get worse. I can't do that. So he quickly stopped her. Shirley hugged him tightly again. I knew you were a good person. Peter thought nervously. Her entire personality completely changed. Meanwhile, Gwen pulled Peter toward herself. He's not your boyfriend. You shouldn't touch him like that. As the two girls started arguing in public, everyone nearby stared at Peter with jealousy. This guy's life is amazing. Meanwhile, both Shirley and Gwen were getting more irritated with each other by the second. Peter's app continued its countdown. Hurry up and choose. Peter panicked. I'm running out of time. Who am I supposed to follow? Just then, Kylie suddenly appeared behind him. There you are. Come with me. Soon, all of them got inside Kylie's car. Kylie looked at the two girls and asked, So, who exactly are they? Gwen answered first. I'm his girlfriend. But Shirley immediately replied, No, she's not. Kylie thought silently. I only stopped seeing Peter for a few days. And now there are already so many girls around him. Peter then asked Kylie, Why were you looking for me? Everything between us was already settled last time, right? Kylie calmly explained to the girls, First of all, Peter and I are just friends. And about what happened before, I already explained everything to my father. He said he doesn't want to drag this matter any further. Also, he has a gift for you. Later, Peter arrived at Kylie's house. Kylie handed him a key and said, From now on, this house belongs to you. Peter was completely stunned. Wait, what? This house is mine now? Kylie smiled gently. I have to leave now. I hope you live happily here. Peter became extremely excited. I suddenly became rich overnight. This feels incredible. But why do I suddenly smell gunpowder? At that moment, both Shirley and Gwen stared at him suspiciously. Explain your relationship with this girl. Peter quickly replied. Kylie already said we're just friends. Gwen crossed her arms. No normal friend gifts someone an entire house. Shirley nodded. Peter must have helped her a lot. Suddenly, the front gate opened again. Kylie rushed back inside anxiously. There's a huge problem. I can't go back for the next 2 days. Can I stay here until then? Immediately, one of the girls slammed the door in her face. No, that's absolutely impossible. Shirley thought, this girl is definitely after our brother Peter. Meanwhile, the robot version of Gwen silently thought, I must complete my mission. I can't allow outsiders to interfere. Peter desperately tried calming them down. Please trust me. Let her stay. Shirley thought quietly, Brother Peter is a very sincere person. If I refuse, he might actually get angry. At the same time, Robot Gwen received a new mission. Investigate every relationship connected to Peter. Eventually, both girls reluctantly agreed. They even apologized to each other. Peter sighed in relief. That's great. You two finally made peace. But internally, Shirley thought, I'm definitely going to remove this girl from Peter's life. Meanwhile, Robot Gwen thought coldly, anyone who interferes with my mission will be eliminated later. Soon, everyone sat down together for dinner. Peter nervously looked around. Why does the atmosphere feel so strange? It feels like a fight is about to break out. Then Shirley and Gwen both picked up pieces of fish and simultaneously moved them toward Kylie. You should try this. It's really good. Peter immediately realized the truth. I was wrong. Nothing between them has actually been resolved. Kylie awkwardly stood up. No thanks. I've already eaten. You guys continue. Later that night, Kylie sat alone in her room applying makeup when Shirley suddenly entered. Sister Kylie, you really have an amazing figure. I heard Peter and you used to have a very close relationship. But honestly, I think Peter chose the wrong girl. He should have chosen you. If I can't become his girlfriend, then I want you to become his girlfriend instead. Kylie immediately sighed. Stop saying nonsense. He already has a girlfriend. Anyway, why did you actually come here? Shirley lowered her voice seriously. The truth is, Gwen is a very dangerous girl. I heard she approached Peter for some hidden reason. Kylie asked, what kind of thing? Shirley replied, that's what I can't remember. But one thing I'm absolutely sure about is that Gwen's intentions are definitely not good. Kylie narrowed her eyes. So what exactly do you want? Shirley answered seriously. I want us to work together and remove Gwen from Peter's life. Later that night, Peter was sleeping peacefully when Shirley suddenly entered his room. Peter sat up in confusion. Shirley, what are you doing here? Shirley smiled. The other girls and I couldn't sleep, so we thought we should play a game with you. Soon, everyone gathered around the dining table. Peter thought nervously, playing such a weird game this late at night already feels suspicious. Suddenly, Peter accidentally dropped his pen. As he bent down to pick it up, the lights suddenly went out. Peter immediately became alert. How did it suddenly get this dark? And where did Shirley go? He quickly tried opening the door, but it wouldn't budge. What the hell is happening here? Just then, Kylie explained, this was all Shirley's plan. The scene shifted to earlier that night. Gwen had secretly approached Kylie and explained everything. There's actually no relationship between Shirley and Peter. She's just a patient suffering from memory loss. I want you to do me a favor for Peter's sake. Kylie nodded. I believe you. Honestly, Shirley's obsession with Peter is getting out of control. We thought maybe we could use that obsession to help restore her memories. Peter sighed. So we're basically waiting for Shirley to come back to normal? Meanwhile, Gwen suddenly asked Kylie, can you give me the spare key? I'm feeling uncomfortable. I need to use the restroom. At the same time, Shirley secretly searched through Gwen's bag. She froze after finding several batteries inside. What are so many batteries doing in her bag? Right then, Gwen entered the room. To Shirley's horror, Gwen calmly took one of the batteries and inserted it into her own body. Shirley's eyes widened in shock. What is she doing? After inserting the battery, Gwen became fully charged again. Then she suddenly noticed Shirley running out of the room in panic. Meanwhile, Peter and Kylie were still waiting downstairs. Why hasn't Gwen returned yet? Suddenly, Shirley came rushing in. The girl staying with you is a monster. I saw her eating batteries with my own eyes. At that moment, Gwen walked in calmly. You mean this battery? Then she handed the object to Peter. It's just candy. Peter tasted it. Shirley became completely confused. It really is candy. But what I saw earlier was definitely a battery. Shirley angrily shouted. Stop trying to fool us. Where are the real batteries? Gwen looked confused. I seriously don't understand what you're talking about. Kylie sighed. Calm down. Maybe you just misunderstood what you saw. Peter also became annoyed. Please stop creating unnecessary problems. Defeated, Shirley returned toward her room. But then she suddenly noticed Gwen's phone lying nearby. A voice message started playing from it. Agent 315, complete your mission immediately. Shirley's expression darkened. I knew it. This girl is definitely dangerous. At that moment, Gwen appeared behind her. What are you doing in my room? Shirley nervously replied, I came here by mistake. Gwen stepped closer. If you don't have any business here, then you should leave. But Shirley remained standing there, thinking deeply. How can I expose her true identity? Gwen stared at her suspiciously. You've been standing here for quite a while. Shirley suddenly smiled awkwardly. I actually have a secret I want to tell you. Gwen frowned. What secret? Shirley took a deep breath. I'm interested in you. Gwen immediately looked disturbed. What kind of nonsense are you talking about? Shirley continued. I only have one final request. I want to sleep while hugging you. After that, I'll leave this house tomorrow. Later that night, both of them pretended to sleep together. After waiting for a long time, Shirley quietly opened her eyes. It took forever for her to fall asleep. Now I'll use her phone to expose her identity. But Gwen had already linked herself to her phone and altered all the information inside it. Soon after, Shirley rushed toward Peter's room holding the phone. Check these messages. Peter looked shocked. I never thought you could do something like this. Shirley became confused. What do you mean? Peter showed her the screen. The phone now contained dozens of threatening messages supposedly sent by Shirley to Gwen, including death threats. Shirley panicked. No, I never sent those. This is definitely Gwen's trap. Right then, Gwen appeared crying. Peter immediately rushed toward her. What happened, Gwen? Gwen looked at Shirley fearfully. No, it's nothing. I'm leaving. Peter suddenly noticed injuries on her body. How did you get hurt? Gwen softly replied. It's nothing. I just fell down. Peter gently walked toward her. You don't need to lie to me. I know Shirley did this. Gwen started crying. She came into my room and attacked me. Shirley shouted angrily, Stop lying. But Gwen calmly replied, You've been lying this whole time. At least admit it now. Enraged, Shirley raised her hand to slap Gwen, but Peter grabbed her wrist midway. Peter looked at Shirley coldly. I don't want to see you right now. Please leave. Later, Peter carefully treated Gwen's wounds. Gwen sighed sadly. I actually feel bad for Shirley. Her condition might get even worse. Peter rubbed his forehead helplessly. I honestly don't know what we're supposed to do anymore. Gwen suddenly smiled. I have an idea. Then she explained her plan to Peter. We'll only use this method for a few days. After that, we can send Shirley to a doctor. Peter still looked confused. I don't fully understand yet. We'll talk about it later. Gwen yawned. I'm sleepy. I'm going to bed. Meanwhile, Shirley sat alone in her room thinking desperately, what can I do to make Peter trust me again? Suddenly, Gwen entered the room. You should be asking me that question. Shirley immediately stood up. What are you doing here? You can't fool me anymore. Gwen calmly replied. Fine. I'll tell you who I really am. Then, right in front of Shirley's eyes, Gwen revealed her robotic face. Shirley's entire body froze. So she really is a robot. I need to tell Peter immediately. But then she suddenly stopped. Even if Peter came, Gwen could easily repair her face before he arrived. So instead, Shirley secretly took a picture of Gwen's robotic face and sent it to Peter. Gwen slowly walked toward her. That was actually a clever plan. But Peter still won't believe you. Imagine what would happen if I used your mistake to turn Peter completely against you. Meanwhile, Peter received the picture and looked confused. What kind of weird photo is Shirley sending me now? Peter immediately rushed into Gwen's room. Shirley, what are you doing here? When he entered, Gwen's entire body appeared covered in injuries, and the vase nearby was shattered. Peter instantly hugged Gwen protectively. Don't worry, I'm here now. Then he turned toward Shirley in anger. Did you do this? Shirley desperately tried explaining. No, I didn't do anything. But Gwen tearfully said, she came into my room and attacked me. Luckily, I managed to protect myself. Peter immediately apologized. I'm sorry, this is all my fault. Gwen sighed dramatically. Shirley's condition has gotten much worse. We can't take her anywhere anymore. Peter lowered his head. I know what I need to do now. Shirley looked confused. Brother, what are you planning to do? Soon after, Peter stepped outside and told Gwen, I'm going to bring a doctor, and I'm sorry for misunderstanding you. Gwen smiled gently. Don't worry about it. I'll take very good care of Shirley. The moment Peter left, Gwen walked back inside. This time Shirley had been tied to a chair. Looking at her, Gwen smirked. It seems like you have something to say. As soon as Gwen removed the tape from Shirley's mouth, Shirley immediately shouted, I won't spare you. I'm going to kill you. Gwen slapped her hard across the face. Stop talking nonsense and listen carefully. Leave this place immediately if you want to survive. Then Gwen sat directly on Shirley's lap and whispered, You should listen to me. You'll stay alive that way. But suddenly, Shirley stood up violently, causing Gwen to fall backward. However, because Shirley was still tied to the chair, she also crashed onto the floor. Gwen slowly pulled out a knife. Looks like your time on Earth is over. Just as she was about to attack, someone knocked on the door. Gwen frowned. Who could that be now? When she opened the door, she found a delivery boy standing outside. You ordered potato fried rice. Gwen looked irritated. You've got the wrong address. I didn't order anything. The delivery boy sighed impatiently. Please don't joke around. I'm in a hurry. Gwen replied coldly. I'm serious. I didn't order it. The delivery boy scratched his head. Maybe your friend inside ordered it. The one you were talking to. Gwen's expression suddenly changed. Did you hear our conversation? The delivery boy rolled his eyes. You're seriously overthinking things. I don't have time for this. At that moment, Gwen realized she couldn't let him leave alive. But suddenly, the delivery boy received a phone call. The customer apologized. I gave you the wrong address. I'll send you the correct one now. The delivery boy immediately smiled awkwardly. Sorry about that. I just remembered something important. As he turned to leave, Gwen suddenly stopped him. I actually do want the order, and I'll pay you 10 times more. But first, I need you to do something for me. Later, the delivery boy was standing on a stool fixing a light bulb. He thought to himself, changing a bulb is basically free work. I would have done it without charging anything, but she's actually paying me for this. The delivery boy grinned. You should add me on WeChat. I can do any job in under a minute. Gwen stared at him coldly. You probably won't even survive until next time. Then she kicked the stool out from under him. The delivery boy fell hard and lost consciousness. But right then, the doorbell rang again. Gwen became annoyed. Who is it this time? When she opened the door, she froze. Standing there was Kylie. Kylie smiled politely. Peter was really worried about you, so he asked me to come check on things. Gwen forced a smile. You coming here was actually very helpful. Kylie looked confused. What did you say? Gwen quickly corrected herself. I mean, it'll be nice having company. Kylie then asked, Where's Shirley? I wanted to see her. Gwen immediately replied, She's not in a good mood right now. It's better if we leave her alone. Kylie narrowed her eyes. Why are you acting so nervous? Gwen looked away. It's nothing. I'm just not feeling well. Kylie nodded. If that's the case, then you should get some rest too. I'm feeling sleepy myself. Later, Kylie sat alone in her room thinking, something definitely feels wrong here. Suddenly, she heard strange noises downstairs. Meanwhile, Shirley, who was still tied up, was desperately trying to grab the delivery boy's phone. But before she could reach it, Gwen appeared and kicked the phone away. At the same time, Kylie stepped out of her room. I definitely heard something downstairs. As she walked forward, Gwen suddenly appeared behind her. Kylie looked surprised. Gwen, what are you doing here? Gwen calmly replied, I couldn't sleep, so I came downstairs. Kylie frowned. Don't you hear those weird noises? Gwen shook her head. No, you're probably imagining things. Honestly, I feel kind of uncomfortable here. We should just go back. She tried leading Kylie away, but Kylie pulled her hand back. No, I need to check. Soon, Kylie entered the room where Shirley and the delivery boy had been hidden. But the room was empty. Kylie sighed. Maybe I really did hear wrong. Gwen smiled. See, I told you there's nothing here. We should go back to sleep. Kylie turned around. Yeah, maybe you were right. But then something caught her attention. A delivery boy's ID card was lying on the floor. Kylie immediately became suspicious. Why would a delivery card be here? No one came to the house after I arrived, unless she slowly walked toward a nearby cupboard. The moment she opened it, she found Shirley and the unconscious delivery boy trapped inside. Kylie panicked. I need to call the police right now. But before she could react, Gwen struck her from behind and knocked her unconscious. I gave you a chance, but you were too stupid. Just then, Gwen received a notification. Peter is about to arrive. Be careful. Moments later, Peter returned home. Gwen immediately asked, why did you come back so quickly? Peter looked frustrated. I went to the address you gave me, but it wasn't a doctor's house. They threw me out. Then he looked around suspiciously. Why are you alone here? Where is everyone? Gwen, why aren't you answering? Did something happen? Gwen calmly replied, right after you left, Shirley suddenly regained her memories, and then she went back home. Peter looked surprised. That's strange. Gwen crossed her arms. What? You don't believe me? Peter shook his head. No. The last time I doubted you, it became the biggest mistake of my life. I'm not making that mistake again. Then Gwen suddenly asked, can I see your phone? Peter looked confused. My phone? Why? Gwen smiled suspiciously. What if you're hiding something in it? As Peter checked his pockets, his expression changed. My phone is gone. Meanwhile, robotic Gwen secretly scanned him with her energy sensors, but she couldn't detect the artifact's energy. Gwen suddenly yelled, are you insane? You lost something that important? If your phone is gone, then why are you still alive? Peter immediately became suspicious. Why is she so concerned about my phone? Realizing she had overreacted, Gwen quickly calmed down. Sorry, I got a little too emotional. Peter silently thought, this definitely has something to do with the app. At that moment, the app informed him, your phone is far away, but some functions are still available. Peter started thinking carefully. When did I lose my phone? Then he remembered. While searching for the fake doctor's address, he had bumped into a girl, and she must have stolen it. Meanwhile, the thief girl looked at the phone in disappointment. I thought this guy was rich, but this phone is completely broken. She casually threw it away, but her dog caught the phone in its mouth. Don't eat that. The dog spat the phone out, causing it to fall out of the window. At the same time, Peter arrived nearby. This is the location the app showed me. My phone must be somewhere around here. Suddenly, his phone dropped right in front of him. Peter picked it up happily. I didn't expect to find it this quickly. At that moment, the thief girl rushed downstairs searching for the phone and accidentally bumped into Peter. I'm sorry. Peter stared at her. So it was you. The girl looked shocked. That phone fell from the 10th floor, and it's still perfectly fine. This thing must be some kind of valuable vintage phone. Meanwhile, Peter thought, she's definitely planning something. I need to leave quickly. The girl suddenly smiled sweetly. Brother, last time you lost your phone, I kept it safely so I could return it to you. Peter replied coldly, I'm not believing a word you say. The girl laughed. Then don't. And suddenly she grabbed Peter's phone again and ran away. Peter immediately shouted toward Gwen, wait here, I'll be back with the phone. But when he turned around, Gwen had already disappeared. The scene shifted again. Gwen had blocked the thief girl's car. The girl frowned. What do you want? Gwen stared at the phone in her hands. I want that phone. The girl smirked. And what will you give me in return? Gwen replied coldly, I'll spare your life. The next second, Gwen attacked her with a dagger. But the girl quickly trapped Gwen inside a special net. The more you struggle, the tighter it gets. No normal human can escape this easily. But suddenly, Gwen placed a knife against the girl's throat. What makes you think I'm a normal human? The girl's face turned pale. This woman is a monster. Could she belong to some dangerous organization? Just as Gwen was about to kill her, a gunshot echoed through the area. The one who fired was Dr. Octopus. The thief girl looked shocked. Doctor, how are you here? Dr. Octopus replied calmly, it's a long story. I'll explain later. At that exact moment, Peter also arrived at the scene. The doctor said, "Let me deal with this problem first. After that, I'll talk to you." Peter immediately stepped forward. "Doctor, this is my girlfriend. You've misunderstood the situation." The doctor looked at him seriously. "Do you even know her real identity?" At that moment, Gwen suddenly stood up and placed a knife against Peter's neck. She laughed coldly. "So this idiot really loved his girlfriend that much? He couldn't even tell that I'm not the real Gwen." Dr. Octopus shouted, "Peter, you've been deceived. She's not human. She's a biotic robot created by the Sinister Six organization." Peter's mind went blank. "So I really was betrayed. Then where's the real Gwen?" The robotic Gwen tightened the knife against his throat. "If you lower your weapon, I'll kill him." Just then, a random man stepped out of a nearby car and yelled, "If you people are shooting a movie, do it somewhere else. Don't block the road." Suddenly, Gwen stretched her arm unnaturally and attacked the man. The man inside the car panicked. "What kind of monster is this?" Taking advantage of the distraction, Dr. Octopus fired multiple shots at Gwen. Then he shot the bald man in the head with a special bullet, instantly knocking him unconscious. The doctor calmly explained, "He'll only stay unconscious for a while, and when he wakes up, he won't remember anything." At the same time, robotic Gwen's internal system started malfunctioning. Core code destroyed, system overload imminent. The biotic Gwen looked terrified. "Don't kill me. I can tell you where your real girlfriend is," Peter shouted desperately. "Then tell me already." But instead, robotic Gwen activated her self-destruct sequence. "Go ask in hell where she is." The next second, a massive explosion erupted. Peter was thrown to the ground. "I'm going to die." But suddenly he saw visions of the real Gwen in his mind. "I still haven't saved her. I can't die yet." At that exact moment, his phone displayed a notification. "Your phone has been upgraded." The upgraded phone instantly teleported everyone away from the blast zone. Peter looked shocked. "I survived? How is that even possible?" Then someone spoke beside him. "Master, are you alright?" Peter turned around. "Who are you?" The app replied, "My name is Little Spidey. I'm the upgraded version of app. To be honest, if that robot hadn't provided me with so much energy, I never would have evolved." Peter quickly realized what happened. So it absorbed all the energy from the explosion. Meanwhile, Dr. Octopus started scanning the app and collecting data from it. Suddenly, Peter heard another voice nearby. It was the boss of the Sinister Six organization. Peter was stunned. "How is this guy still alive?" The boss smirked. "You're not alone here. Your girlfriend is with me too." Peter clenched his fists. "What did you do to Gwen?" The boss replied calmly. "If you want the girl back, then hand over the artifact." Little Spidey immediately warned him. "Master, don't give me to anyone." Peter begged desperately. "Please help me save her." Little Spidey replied sadly, "I want to help you, but I don't have any combat abilities." The doctor immediately interrupted. "You're lying." Little Spidey sighed. "Fine. I can at least provide combat techniques." Then she instantly transferred fighting techniques into Peter's mind. The scene shifted again. Meanwhile, Kylie and Shirley had both regained consciousness. Shirley smiled proudly. "It's a good thing I found a lighter on that delivery guy. I burned the ropes and escaped." Kylie looked worried. "There's no communication device here, and we've been locked inside. We can't do anything." Suddenly, the gate started opening. The two girls immediately grabbed weapons and prepared for battle. But the moment Peter walked in, they beat him up without hesitation. Later, Shirley removed the cloth covering Peter's face and sighed. "Look at the condition you're in now." Afterward, the girls bandaged Peter's injuries. Peter silently thought, "These girls are way too cruel." Then he asked, "What exactly were you two doing?" Kylie and Shirley immediately apologized. But Shirley lowered her head and said, "Everything that happened here was my fault. I've completely lost my mind." Peter suddenly bowed in front of her. "No, please forgive me. This is all my fault. I didn't trust you." The moment Peter sincerely apologized, both girls' favorability toward him increased dramatically. Then Peter suddenly got an idea. "I've already been rejected by 101 girls. Now it's time for them to start giving me favorability points instead." After talking with everyone, Peter successfully leveled up his fighting skills. Looking at himself, he muttered, "I don't feel much different. I still have a few points left, but they won't change much." Little Spidey explained, "If you want major improvements, you'll need a massive amount of energy. With this little energy, you can barely do anything." Even so, Peter forcefully tried to level up again using his remaining points. Little Spidey panicked. "Master, stop! You could get seriously hurt." But suddenly, Peter successfully leveled up again. He immediately felt stronger. "My skills have improved a lot. Now it's finally time to rescue Gwen." Without wasting another second, Peter infiltrated the Sinister Six organization's base. He quickly beat down countless enemies as he advanced deeper inside. But suddenly, a mysterious man wearing a cloak appeared before him. The cloaked man said calmly, "I'm not here to kill you. I'm only here to knock you unconscious." Peter frowned. "Who are you?" The man replied, "That doesn't matter. But what you possess belongs to me." Peter immediately realized, so this guy is connected to the organization too. Peter grabbed the man's hand desperately. "Please don't do this. I'm using it to save people." The mysterious man replied coldly. "Stop joking. You're only trying to save your own people. You have no right to use the artifact. Besides, creatures from low-level worlds are weak. Talking to you is a waste of my time." A little later, Peter woke up and saw little Spidey beside him. "You got taken away with that guy, didn't you?" Little Spidey explained. "I'm currently in data mode, so I can stay separated from the phone for a short time." Peter clenched his fists. All my tricks were supposed to be used against the Sinister Six, but then that mysterious guy suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Right then, the boss video called Peter. "You're trying to fool me. Looks like you want me to kill the girl." Peter immediately panicked. "Please don't hurt her. I'm bringing the artifact." The boss smirked. "The real artifact isn't even with you anymore, so you're worthless to me." But Peter suddenly showed his phone. "The real artifact is still with me, and I can transfer it to anyone I want." The boss narrowed his eyes. "Fine, I'll send someone to bring you here." After ending the call, the boss laughed coldly. "It doesn't matter whether that artifact is real or fake. You're not leaving this place alive." The scene shifted once more. The mysterious man who had stolen Peter's phone was now examining it carefully. After checking it, he muttered, "So the artifact really is inside this thing." It turned out that this man belonged to the Universe Space Agency, an organization responsible for monitoring universal energy. The agent said seriously, "If I fail to protect this artifact, this entire world could be destroyed." Meanwhile, Peter finally arrived before the boss. The boss smirked. "Show me what I want." Peter displayed the phone. "If you want the artifact, release Gwen first." Surprisingly, they actually released her. Peter thought suspiciously. They agreed way too easily. Still, he grabbed Gwen and started walking away while handing them the phone. The moment the boss activated it, the system confirmed. "Artifact energy detected, 100%. The boss immediately shouted, "Surround this bastard." Then he stared at Peter. "Why don't you look surprised?" Peter smirked. "I knew you'd betray me, but taking the artifact from me won't be easy." The boss frowned. "What do you mean?" At that exact moment, the system announced, "Artifact energy lost." Suddenly, the artifact returned to Peter's side. The boss looked amazed. "So the artifact can even take human form." "Peter, thank you very much for revealing that secret." But before Peter could react, Gwen stabbed him. Peter's eyes widened. "What is happening?" The boss laughed. "I fed her something that forces her to obey me. And don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna torture you." Suddenly, Peter received another notification. "Would you like to enter system training? During this period, real-world time will remain frozen." Peter immediately selected yes. "I finally have a chance." The next moment, Peter entered a strange realm where he became the husband of a powerful female devil. Little Spidey explained, "Your mission is to kill the female devil." But no matter how hard Peter tried, he couldn't defeat her. She was simply too powerful. And she was also the leader of an entire sect. Eventually, an elder explained the truth to Peter. She wasn't always the leader. Our former sect leader was a kind and righteous man. He rescued her from bandits in the forest and brought her into the sect. He taught her everything, but she turned out to be a snake hiding in the grass. No one knows where our real sect leader disappeared to. And after that, this female devil took control. All the people who supported the old leader have now been imprisoned. At that moment, the female devil herself appeared. It turned out she had poisoned the former sect leader and sealed his meridians, completely destroying his power. Peter thought to himself, "If I want to defeat this female devil, then I'll need the prisoner's help." Using his position, Peter entered the prison. The moment he stepped inside, he realized that every prisoner there had their meridians sealed. Some of them had even gone completely insane. Peter clenched his fists. That female devil is truly evil. She's given these people a punishment worse than death. At that moment, the system granted Peter a technique called Healing Finger. As Peter moved deeper inside the prison, he encountered 3 extremely powerful cultivators. Unlike the others, these 3 hadn't gone insane yet, but their meridians were sealed as well, leaving them completely powerless against the female devil. Peter immediately used the Healing Finger technique and restored their power. Afterward, Peter led the 3 experts straight to the female devil. The female devil effortlessly killed all 3 of them in battle. However, Peter continuously used Healing Finger to revive them again and again. Eventually, after countless revivals, the 3 warriors finally managed to kill the female devil. The system announced, "Training completed. All techniques learned during this training will be retained." The 3 elders respectfully bowed. "Thank you very much, Master." The next moment, Peter returned to the real world. As soon as he opened his eyes, Gwen immediately attacked him, but Peter calmly used Healing Finger on her. Suddenly, Gwen screamed in pain. "My head hurts so much," Peter gently held her. "Calm down." Then Gwen noticed Peter's injuries and looked shocked. "What happened to you?" Peter immediately healed himself with Healing Finger as well. "It's nothing." Then he looked at her seriously. I'll explain everything later. Meanwhile, the boss of the Sinister Six organization stared at Peter in disbelief. What kind of power is this? He healed himself instantly. So this is the true power of the artifact? Peter stepped forward confidently. It's time to end this fight. The boss laughed mockingly. If you can just heal yourself endlessly, then that's basically cheating. Fine. Then we'll imprison your app instead. The next second, he trapped little Spidey inside a glowing sphere. Peter immediately realized he couldn't win alone. But just as the enemies rushed toward him, they suddenly collapsed to the ground. It turned out the space agency agent had shot all of them. Peter recognized him instantly. That weird guy from before. The man introduced himself. My name is Ben. I'm a guardian of the universe. Now hand over the artifact. The boss roared. No! You're the one who's going to die! He ordered all his men to fire at Ben. However, Ben activated his combat skill, making himself completely untouchable. Everyone shouted in shock. That's the legendary hero Ben. Ben instantly defeated every enemy in a matter of seconds and placed a gun against the boss's throat. Terrified, the boss handed over the fake artifact. Take it. But the moment Ben grabbed it, it transformed into an energy absorber. Ben instantly lost power and collapsed to the ground. During the chaos between Ben and the boss, the real artifact returned to Peter. Peter quickly grabbed Gwen. We need to get out of here now. Meanwhile, the boss realized Ben was far stronger than expected. I can't defeat him like this. Then he injected himself with a strange substance. Ben, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. The next moment, the boss transformed into a terrifying demon. Ben remained calm. Even with this disgusting transformation, you still can't defeat me. I've fought monsters far worse than you. One of them was named Kevin. Ben activated his shield confidently. I told you already, you can't harm me. But suddenly, the demon boss shattered Ben's shield. Meanwhile, Peter secretly hid deeper inside the organization's base. He desperately thought, how do I free little Spidey? Then he noticed dozens of capsules nearby containing biotic robots. Peter remembered what little Spidey had once told him. She evolved by absorbing robotic energy. Immediately, little Spidey began absorbing energy from every robot capsule nearby. At the same time, the demon boss had already defeated Ben. The boss raised his weapon. The guardian Ben dies today. Just as he was about to finish him, Peter suddenly appeared. After little Spidey's upgrade, Peter's own powers had increased dramatically. Peter immediately began absorbing the boss's power. The boss stared at him in shock. So you've become much stronger than before. The next second, Peter kicked him violently, badly injuring him. The boss launched countless sneak attacks, but none of them worked. Looking at Peter's overwhelming strength, the boss growled, "The artifact's power is truly unbelievable. If I can't have it, then I'll kill everyone here." Then he activated the organization's self-destruct system. At that moment, Peter overheard someone shouting, "There are vehicles outside. Everyone escape." Soon, everyone began fleeing the collapsing base. Peter silently realized, so the boss really plans to die here. Later, Peter and Ben landed safely outside. Peter sighed in relief, so it's finally over, but Ben shook his head. No, this isn't over forever. It's only over for now. Then Ben started walking away. For now, I won't interfere any further. But remember this, kid. The next time we meet, that artifact will belong to the space organization. After returning home, Peter finally told all the girls the entire truth. To convince them, he even introduced little Spidey to everyone. For their safety, Kylie and Shirley moved into a secret protected base. Peter smiled to himself. Everyone's finally gone. Now I can finally live peacefully with Gwen. But suddenly, Dr. Octopus arrived. What have you done? You still need to keep charming more girls. Peter immediately refused. No, I'm not doing that anymore. The doctor looked serious. You have no choice. If you stop now, the entire world could be in danger. Little Spidey also pleaded. Boss, please just do it. The doctor sighed. What's the problem anyway? Peter replied angrily. Maybe nobody else has a problem with it. But I do. Take this thing back. At that moment, the doctor suddenly pulled out a gun. If that's your decision, then I'll have to kill you. The artifact only returns to its previous owner after the current owner dies. And besides, it's already completely linked to you. Unbeknownst to them, Gwen had overheard the entire conversation. She lowered her head sadly. If I want to save everyone, then I have to leave Peter. Suddenly, Gwen entered the room and coldly said, I can't stay with someone like you anymore. I'm breaking up with you. Watching her walk away left Peter completely heartbroken. The doctor patted his shoulder. Don't be depressed, kid. Now it's time for your real mission. And for now, I'm leaving too. I need to talk to the space agency about you. After the doctor left, Peter stared at his phone tiredly. I'm exhausted. I should get some sleep. The next morning, Peter woke up feeling confused. Yesterday was insane. So much happened. Suddenly, he imagined Shirley, Kylie, MJ, and Gwen surrounding him happily. Brother, we finally found you. But then little Spidey smacked him on the head with a stick. Boss, wake up. When Peter opened his eyes again, he realized he was trapped inside a capsule. A mysterious woman stood before him. You killed one of our bosses. But the sinister organization doesn't have just one boss. It has 6. And I'm one of them. And now, you're finally gonna be freed from your app. Peter then noticed 4 more capsules nearby, each containing another girl. She smiled coldly. If you refuse to hand over your energy, I'll kill all 4 girls. Peter immediately surrendered. I promise, I won't resist. The next moment, she extracted Peter's energy bead. She laughed excitedly. Finally, the artifact is mine. Peter shouted angrily. Then why haven't you released them? She glared at him. You killed one of our bosses. We're not letting you leave alive. Then she grabbed Peter by the throat and started choking him. The girls screamed desperately. Let Peter go. At that moment, Peter received another notification. Love purity overload detected. All individuals connected to the artifact will be destroyed. The next second, a gigantic explosion destroyed the entire organization. Even the Earth itself began cracking apart. The narrator explained that the artifact's overloaded energy had rewound time by 1 entire year. Everyone connected to the artifact lost all their memories. However, the powers Peter had gained remained with him as a blessing. 1 year later, Peter arrived for a date using a dating app, and the girl he came to meet was none other than Gwen herself. As they accidentally bumped into each other, Peter handed her dropped documents back to her. Sorry about that. At this point, Peter still possessed mysterious powers he didn't fully understand. And now, he had become strangers with people he once knew deeply. A completely new journey was about to begin for Peter and his powers. But unfortunately, we'll never get to see that journey, because this is where Peter Carter's story finally comes to an end. See you tomorrow with another amazing series. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.